If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Just like a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as could be. You can watch us on YouTube with view for free. Ay, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
Sports pitched a dud this weekend.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, other than the Knicks getting bounced, that's not a dud. Woo! That's not a dud. Get good.
Hey, when you get eliminated this late, you can't do 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Yeah, no, respectable season. Yeah. Losers!
I got to tell you, I don't feel better about Cat after this series.
Okay.
Thanks.
I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Like, I mean,
like they don't have a big, right?
Yep.
Or they have a big that can't shoot worth a lick,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very good on the offensive end.
Well, he's
Cat
a very-
was supposed to be that weapon that would take advantage of other bigs,
Mm-hmm.
but he's the only big I know you can cover him with, guard him with a hobbit because he ain't going in the paint.
Yeah. He strangely did very good against Joker last year, though.
Right. Isn't that like that's a weird thing, isn't it?
He's a weird player.
Right.
He's a weird player. But, oh well. Enjoy Cancun.
You're like, oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I'm getting to the real task at hand. He's talking to some Spanish coach. I need to figure out what's going on with him.
Ooh. Either talking to some Spanish coach.
Yeah. Well, he's Italian, but he was the head coach of the Spanish team.
What are they talking to him about?
Apparently an assistant coaching job.
Oh, assistant.
What?
What?
What do you mean wink? Wink. He's not going to be the head coach.
Push Bo upstairs.
He's not getting pushed upstairs.
It's happening, guys. It's
He's
happening in
literally
front of
not
us.
getting pushed upstairs.
The breadcrumbs are added up.
Okay, the breadcrumbs.
Hey,
literally
Marcos.
says he's an assistant coach.
Marcos.
Yep.
Now, granted, I would say this wasn't Spo's best year on the bench.
Easily is worse.
Oh, well, let's just use our good words.
Okay.
Wasn't his best season.
Right.
However, you ingrate.
Jeez.
That man hasn't done enough for this organization to be able to turn it around. Like, it's like you can be great for 20 years, and if you have a bad 6 months, you're a bum.
No.
He just wants his stupid plan to work out. The
You
kick
know
him
what?
upstairs
It-
plan. That's all he cares
nostalgia.
about.
Leroy, I thought you were better than that. You
What?
know, Tobin wanted to give Jimmy the contract for what he's done,
Mhm.
and you were smart
No.
enough. to see through that.
Coaching's different though.
How is it different?
Coaching
How is
because
it
if you have a bad
He's already
year,
got an extension.
you
So
gotta
what's the
look.
difference?
different?
You got to look over you got to look at the overall.
This is on
Success.
stench.
What? He signed an extension last year, like for 8 years.
Yeah, that was like a do right by Spo.
What?
A little wink. We know what's going on.
I don't think you know what's going on at all. I don't think you've ever known what anything less of what's going on.
I'm so right on. They're interviewing coaches.
Yeah, because they're probably going to lose Chris Quinn to be the head coach of the Suns.
Because he's clearly like, hey guys, Spo needs to move on. This is my time.
And you're basing that off of 1 year?
No, not just, it's been a steady decline. He's been bailed out by Jimmy Butler.
But
And-
that's wait. So has every other team that has a winning record and success.
No,
I mean, think of the championships LeBron has won away from Miami.
okay,
Those coaches didn't last 2 seconds after LeBron left.
Well, those were just puppets. LeBron was really the coach. This guy who's supposed to be a guru, and at one point, best coach in the NBA.
At one point, you're
Both-
taking that from him?
Have we
Hey.
not?
Hey, what can I ask you a question?
We've been
What
above.
portion of that? So you're telling me this team this past year was how many games better than 37? How many wins better than 37? What should they have had if they had good coaching?
Well, if they had good coaching, Jimmy Butler wouldn't have left.
What?
That's not
nothing
true.
to do with anything.
That had nothing to do with coaching.
He didn't like how they were utilizing him. Let's
He
start with
just
that.
wanted his money.
That's how we.
Wait,
Why would you-
Marcos, we're gonna need you to start being truthful here if we're gonna get through this.
Just stop being an idiot.
Did Jimmy
Right.
Butler was that not his first complaint? He didn't like how he was being utilized.
No, that was his fourth complaint after
Yeah,
he
that
didn't
was
get
his-
his money, and he
No.
got fined 27 times.
He was gonna be a good soldier. Then told me
No.
with the side eye and these questions.
This is all operations of out of order. Like this is not how it
and
happened.
then he
Right.
got,
This is not how it happened.
angry. He got
You're
agitated.
changing history.
But Marcos,
Feathers.
Marcos,
Spo never addressed it.
Marcos,
Never commanded the locker room.
Marcos.
Yeah.
You still haven't answered my question.
I think he's a little long.
Hold on. If I had another coach with
Yeah.
the same players, okay, the same circumstance would have occurred. Jimmy was still going to get traded.
Okay, fine. Let's
So,
say
so how many wins should they have had?
I'll tell you what,
You-
less.
the-
They should have had less, but because he's so egotistical and focused on doing the right thing, now we miss out on Cooper Flag. What?
Oh, so
True or false?
wait. So you're saying, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
That if Spo wasn't the coach, they would have had less wins, but because he was able to get this group,
That's the right thing to do, yes, because that would have been the right thing to do.
so he's a good
Because he's
coach.
so
Wait. So
his
you're basically saying, with the information that he had and the weapons that he had and the
Yes.
players that he probably did more or won more games for this team than any other coach would have.
Correct. He won more
And
games.
that makes him a good coach.
Nope, did more damage.
What?
Let's start.
Oh.
No, now, Leroy, this is something that you started with at the beginning of the season. True or false? Let's just play a little game here. You know, I love game shows.
Oh, like you answered my question.
No, just simple. You know, true or
Go.
false?
You have evil
No.
games.
Spo should have relied on his rookies more and earlier.
Well, let me say this. This
All
has
right.
been a thing with Spo
Hmm.
since he got the job. And it's not wait.
All right.
It is not with all rookies. It's just with bigs. He has always been that way.
Yeah, he's been anti-big for a while. But beyond that, true or false, Leroy? He should have relied on his rookies earlier and more often.
I would have liked that, yes.
Okay. That's one
See
thing.
how I answered that question truthfully? But let me also say this.
Yeah.
I don't know as much as Spo. I only claim to know. And my whole problem with not
Like it worked out
Oh,
though.
can we just get to the dumber point here? He's not the head coach. They're hiring somebody for his staff, you idiot.
You don't know that.
No, I
dude.
do know that. Like, what are you talking about? The reports are
Succession
not
plan.
the Miami Heat are replacing him with a.
Mm.
Let me give you the report.
Yeah.
It's from Euro Hoops. Miami Heat are looking.
Euro hoops.
Can't trust this.
Can we get some?
I can't. Hold on. I can't trust the number one authority on international basketball.
Does it have a Z at the end?
No.
Okay. No, this is reliable then.
You guys realize basketball's popular other places, yeah?
I've heard of it.
Don't say you guys. You guys didn't.
You were pretty skeptical when I said Euro
Yeah,
Hoops.
he was so
Well,
skeptical.
Listen, in fairness to me, okay, you have come in here with some heaters from rando guys. So I just looked as a situation of, okay, let's see if this is a reputable site. And then you gave the bona fides, and yes, it is. So That's why I gave you the look. I didn't give you the look like it was legit. I give you a look sometimes because you scour the internet for anybody that will
It's not on the
say,
internet. It just popped up on my social media feed.
okay, all right. So let's get to the report.
Made up all the bona fides, by the way. No, it says Miami Heat are looking into hiring Italian expert Sergio Scariolo. Sergio Scariolo. Miami Heat have expressed interest in Sergio Scariolo as their associate coach. Such a potential return to the NBA would have him working under head coach Erik Spoelstra. News was revealed by Alex Molina of Eurohoops Spain on Monday, following up a recent report on the 64-year-old Italian tactician traveling to the United States to interview with an NBA franchise. He previously served as an assistant coach for the Toronto Raptors under Nick Nurse from 2018 to 2021. His run was highlighted by winning an NBA championship in 2019. He left the lone Canadian franchise in the league and signed a multi-year contract with Virtus Segafredo Bologna to become the new head coach of the Italian club in his second stint in 2015. He also won Euro.
Yeah, okay.
The Euro Cup in 2022, which is a big deal.
Yeah, this guy's going to be an assistant coach. You know what? You need to grow up, dude. You need to grow
He
up.
literally was an assistant coach in the NBA.
Already done. Already did that for a championship team. The succession.
So you think, like, what do you think the odds are right now that this guy's going to be the head coach of the Miami Heat, Frog Boy?
It depends on Chris Quinn leaving.
No, you need to make a choice right now. Chris Quinn's one of the 3 finalists. So what do you put the odds at? Come on, be bold.
I don't think Quinn gets the job, unfortunately.
Why?
Because Phoenix is a dumb franchise.
I look at it differently. I'm looking at if the Heat are making these moves, then he must be on the inside track to get the job.
Or maybe boost him up. Here we go. Now I see it. Just saw the
He
plan.
doesn't see it.
Boost him up, right? Spo goes to the front office. We love you, Spo. Thank you for your service. You're so great. We love you. Look, you're the new pop. Then Chris Quinn says, screw you, Phoenix. Give me Kevin Durant. Here's Terry Rozier. Oof, gross. Please, can we just get rid of that? Now we have Chris Quinn as our head coach, and Sergio Bologna can be.
That's not his name. Please don't do that. That's very disrespectful.
Sabaros is going to be our
Scariolo.
Heard. He will be the new assistant coach, and everything is right in the world, essentially. Spo still has a great job.
I got to tell you something. This guy's got great hair.
Does he? Handsome on the bench?
Yep. Italian Pat Riley.
Come on, dude. Is it? No, he's Irish.
What?
Mafia. You know, that guy,
He's from New York.
That's why.
Take a break. Those are our headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. I apologize for Frog Boy.
Yeah.
Idiot.
There, you guys will see. You'll see.
No, we're not going to see anything.
You'll see.
Everything that this report says went against what you thought.
Nah, it's all coming together.
We'll take a break. Evan Rodrigues from the Panthers is going to join us later on this hour. Fresh off his first goal of the postseason. Surprisingly, it took him a while. But he's always fun to talk to. We'll talk about the Cats Cup rematch coming on up. Back after this.
Got what you
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Florida Panthers getting going to the Stanley Cup Final coming up on Wednesday as we have game 1 between the Cats and Oilers getting going. The Knicks, and they are bounced, so the Pacers and Thunder will get going on Thursday. And we got our championships all set to go.
What are you, sick?
I don't feel great.
Sick over there?
Yeah. What are you, Judgy McJudge? I haven't been over there for you.
I was actually sick all last week. I probably got you sick.
Yeah, you probably got me sick, you rat bastard.
We finally got him.
But yeah, man, it is. It should be exciting. Obviously, big rematch going on between the Panthers and the Oilers, and we get going. All the action set here. Evan Rodrigues will join us coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll talk some Stanley Cup Final with him. Hurricanes, they lost to Southern Miss yesterday. They play again today for the right to move on to the Super Regional for all our baseball fans out there. So, but they lost last night pretty badly.
Yeah, it's okay though. Shake it off.
You just got to win tonight.
Come on, easy peasy.
What's the point of
You got
having
no choice now.
Yeah. What's the point of double elimination if you don't put yourself in that position?
It's called double.
That's the fun of it.
That's why we do it.
That's the fun of it, baby. So we got it all happening for us. Panthers will be traveling out, I believe, to Edmonton today. I think tomorrow's media day. We found out you were a huge liar, by the way, over the weekend. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, you.
What?
Yeah, as you've done this whole thing, you went on. You got fooled by Instagram about Sergei Bobrovsky.
No way.
Yeah.
No, we didn't ask the hockey hornet.
No, you got fooled by the Instagram, as I suspected.
What?
And you look like an idiot.
No way.
Somebody found us with Bob on the record talking about it.
Somebody found that?
Yeah, somebody found it.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah. Research.
Need a job?
And he said, Bob's like, no, that's not true.
What?
I didn't lose 20 pounds. This is the most I've ever lost is 4.
4 pounds?
Yep.
Bleacher Report.
No, just stop falling for the internet.
Why would the internet lie to me?
Because that's what it does.
That's what it does.
Literally what it does for clicks.
Never done that to me.
And you savvy or just
I don't know though. You said this, some person. How do I know it was an AI, whatever this person found? You said the internet lies.
It was Sergei Bobrovsky on the NHL Network.
Was it
Yes.
the NHL Network or the NHL Network as according to AI?
What?
You know, these new things are getting crazy nowadays. I
No,
gotta see
you're
this,
getting crazy.
I gotta see this this evidence you supposedly had.
I will show you the evidence.
I appreciate that.
But the guy was strictly on the record saying that's not true. And I think he said anybody who falls for it is a stupid dum-dum. I think that's what he also said.
I tried to explain to you how impossible that was.
Yeah, but the internet would have lied to me, Leroy. I'm
Dude,
still not buying this.
Okay, you can listen to the internet,
Yeah.
or listen to somebody who ended up in the hospital from dehydration, and it was nowhere near 20 pounds.
20 pounds is a ridiculous amount of weight that you basically need to lose on purpose or be in the desert stranded.
Right.
So when these UFC fighters, how much do you think they lose in a day?
There are guys who have lost 20 pounds.
Look at that.
But they probably need a week to do it.
What?
And
they gain it right back
they
the
gain it
second
right
they get
back.
on the scale.
they gain it right back the next day.
Like the next day you can gain it back, right? But you
Yeah.
can't lose it that quickly unless you focus and you gain
He's-
some
what?
pre-water and then 4 overtimes. I mean, come on.
Wait,
it's a whole
by
other
the way, Marcos.
Yep.
Again, I'm gonna give you real stuff versus this imaginary world you live in.
Yeah.
There isn't enough water in the world that you could drink to rehydrate if you lose that much weight that quick. When I ended up in the hospital with all the IV bags, because I was cramping up so much, my tongue was cramping up.
Ugh.
That's how much weight I lost. And I was drinking so much water, and they go, yeah, that can't get in your system that quick. So
Ooh.
that
How
is
much,
not accurate.
how
That
much
is
did you
not
lose?
accurate.
How much did you lose? 6
I
pounds?
started the game at like 220
Yeah.
and got down to like 208.
Look at that. You're telling me Bob couldn't push
And
it?
I ended up in the hospital. And
Yeah.
it was a different scenario.
He also
I wasn't playing on ice.
he also
I-
didn't. He also he was working hard. He also like drinks during the game.
Mm.
And can you just stop being an idiot?
You know, Bob is like
Yes.
a fish, constantly just. That can be like it's like 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah. So how would he lose that much?
Marcos, this is no lie.
Also, he plays on ice.
That
I
doesn't mean anything.
already mentioned that.
He's got like he's got a samurai.
So, Marcos, listen to me. I could take you in this hot sun.
Yeah. Oh.
And we could run around and do stuff. When you lose 5 pounds, you'll start having almost blurry vision. So imagine 20 pounds. You about to die.
Okay, it was 15 though. On the graphics said 15. You know, that's where we started. Then other reports got to 20 and just ran with it. But
it's
Bob
15.
really said only 4 pounds, huh?
15 pounds is not
only 4.
And that was in the quadruple overtime game too.
Really? What does he know? He's a modest man. It had to be at least 8.
I tell you, the only difference between Bob and us, we play in extreme heat sometimes.
Yeah.
And we have those pads on,
Mm.
right? And I tell you what, some games it was so hot and so sweaty, you had to change pants and you just go and just strip down at halftime. So, yeah.
I'm going to ask the Hockey Hornet. If he tells me, then I'll believe him.
Why do you have to watch the Hockey Hornet? We have Bob on the record.
AI. I can't trust AI. Hockey Hornet would never.
No,
AI.
but you'll trust Bleacher Report.
Why would they lie to me?
I just don't understand what you're doing.
Why would they do that?
I don't understand what you're doing.
Okay. I thought he was a freak athlete. I waited.
He is a freak athlete.
And then UFC fighters with their crazy stuff. I don't know what goes on that stuff. This guy's naked behind a towel. Is his junk on it? I don't know. He's kind of holding his belly up. They do crazy things over there. I try not to focus too much. I thought he could do it.
Okay, but their actual purpose is to be in a sauna losing weight or in a hot bathtub losing weight.
A lot of goalie equipment. So hot in there. So hot. And he focuses more than anyone in the world.
Which
Sometimes
is kind of hard to do when you're dehydrating.
Bruce Lee used to do crazy things when he would focus. He would be like, what? But now I'm thinking,
please don't do that ever again. That is the worst impression you've ever done, and that goes right with your Godfather.
Oh, man. I really feel like if
he said bee water, he didn't just say
water.
No, please stop doing that. Please.
A little offensive?
A little bit.
All right.
I don't think it's all the way there, but it's also bad, which is like
it's
really just adding to it.
It's offensive to Bruce Lee.
He would say bee water.
Bee water.
Yeah, he wouldn't just say water. That wasn't his catchphrase.
What? Okay.
All right. You know what? Now you're going too far. And I'm gonna have to hit you with a -1.
That's fair. That one was bad.
-1.
But like I said, with intense focus, you can beat science, dude. So I thought if there's any man who can pull off something that
I can't believe you reached back and you thought to yourself, I need to put more on this terrible impression of mine.
Right.
I thought like you're like, you know what? I didn't reach back and I thought I had 92 back there, but you know what? I think I can get to 95.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Bee water.
Please stop.
That was my best one. But I apologize. I may have been wrong. I still don't know yet. Still have to review the footage.
Oh my goodness.
Still don't know.
What are you doing?
We'll take a break. One of our favorites, Evan Rodrigues, center from your Florida Panthers. He joins us next.
Just
Again, everybody, Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Very excited to talk to our next guest as the Florida Panthers getting ready for their third straight trip to the Stanley Cup Final. And one of the champs joining us here, Evan Rodrigues, got his first goal of the postseason in the Cats clincher against the Hurricanes. Evan, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
What level of honor is it when you get the puck for the puck board? It's one of our favorite things every time you guys are around the locker room. Whoever won the last game has to give it to the next guy. So when you get the puck, where does that go as far as in-season honors for you from your teammates?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because it comes from your teammates, like you said. It's something that your teammates recognize. And it's a cool little tradition, right? We did it last year and again this year, and you always want to help contribute to a win, right? So being acknowledged by your teammates is special, and each guy will get there.
How hard is it? Because we've seen the transition from winning the President's Cup but not performing well in the playoffs to kind of changing how everything is done, more physical, more defensive. How is that transition for like guys that come in or even for guys that were here? Because like you spend your career playing a certain way and then it's just thrown out the door and you have to kind of reinvent yourself.
Yeah, I think the best way I can put it is you don't really have a choice. And it's you go through the regular season and it's still a little bit different than what our game is in the playoffs. And once the playoffs come, if you don't play our way and if you don't do the things that are necessary to winning, it's not really the coaches that are on you. It's the players on the bench. It's the guys next to you that are like, we don't do that here. That's unacceptable. Like that, don't do it again. And when your teammates are holding you accountable, it's a different feeling than even the coach or whoever else. And so yeah, like I said, you don't really have a choice, or everyone's kind of on you and everyone will be like, that just isn't it. So you learn quickly and you just adapt because at the end of the day you recognize and realize that it's what you need to do to be successful. And I think everyone recognizes that pretty quickly and then hops right on board.
It's a weird dynamic because I played football and a guy who was not tough and physical never just turned on a switch and became tough and physical. And the style of play that I've seen now versus a couple of years ago is so different. And I always wondered, did you guys always have it in you? Or it was just something, like you said, like you have to adapt?
I'd say a little bit of both. I would say the guys that we have on our team all have that edge. But at the same time, a lot of it's mental, right? Like even if you think you don't have it, the team, the guys that, have been here and I guess lead in that category kind of drag you right into the fight, right? Like if you got the other four guys on the team going into a fight, right, you're not going to be the one guy standing off to the side because, again, like I said earlier, your team's going to let you know, like that's not acceptable. So, we have leaders in that category that, we have guys that are more physical and maybe meaner than others, but everyone pulls on the rope, right? Everyone does what they can. Everyone, lays their hits when they have them. And it's almost like it's a team thing, right? When it's over and over and over again, the other team starts to feel it, and it might not be the biggest hits or it might not be, the meanest, but when you're getting hit over and over and over again, it wears on you. And I can imagine it's the same thing in football and any sport. It's the toll eventually catches up to you.
Well, speaking of toughness, how crazy was it that you got an embellishment call for basically getting torpedoed into the boards? Like that was one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen in my life. Like when you were going there, did you even realize like what was happening when that got called on you?
I had no idea. I've mentioned this before, but I went off the ice, so I just figured they got a roughing or matching roughings between whoever was out there. And, it was funny, in between the second and third period, Eki said like that was the craziest call I've ever seen. And I was a little bit pissed off. I kind of ignored him a little bit and just didn't acknowledge like what he said. And then after the game, I got a text from my brother being like, yeah, that was a crazy embellishing. And that's when I found out that I got an embellishing call.
Like,
didn't even know how to react because I couldn't, I could not believe it. Like I couldn't fathom that that could even be possible.
Is it literally though? It's impossible to call roughing on one guy and embellishment on the other. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, it's one of those like I'm just gonna move on from because I can't even explain it to you. Like I couldn't even tell you like, oh, this is what he saw, or like this is what maybe like this is what like maybe I could see it through his eyes, but I just like I got nothing for you.
You have nothing to explain. It was crazy to me. I just, it still is one of those things that's going to be like we'll look back on the DVD of this season and be like, oh my god, I can't believe that was a moment.
Yeah.
One of the things that's crazy though, Evan, like you do finally get your first goal, but you guys have so many guys who have scored, but you were amongst like the group who didn't, and it didn't seem like you belong. I know you have a ton of assists in the postseason run. So were you getting any talk from your teammates? Because you're usually like piling it into the net during a postseason run. How crazy was it that it took that long to get one to finally go for you?
No, it didn't bother me at all. I don't think even the guys on, I'm going to be honest, I don't even think the guys on the team knew I didn't have a goal yet. Like it's just, we couldn't be more of a team in that sense of the word. Like it doesn't matter who's scoring, who's getting points. At the end of the day, it's just about wins, right? So personally, obviously you always want to contribute. You always want to, put the puck in the net, help the team win. But, like I said before, I was saving them for the
ready for an avalanche.
Yeah, exactly. So just stockpiling them and, obviously nice to score though and contribute to that one.
The way you guys play though, it's almost like the way, even when Paul explains games, the scoring is a product of doing all the other things necessary to win. So there's not as much importance put on scoring, even though you need a score to win.
Yeah, I think the biggest message, I think, and the biggest takeaway is that we're all in the NHL for a reason, right? We all have the talent. We all have the ability. We all got to this spot because we have talent. So when you focus on, the little things and the defense and, the things that are more mentally hard than, actual talent, the talent will just come out when it has to come out, right? The goal scoring ability, the playmaking ability, those things will come out just because it's what we've done our whole lives. We know how to do it. It's the reason why we're here. And so when you put the mental focus onto, like you said, the defense, the physical, nature of the game, the hitting, those sort of things that aren't just natural, that take, focus and attention, the rest of it just takes care of itself. And I think that's where we're having our success, is that we can, put our mental capacity into the hard things and, the fun and the goal scoring and the playmaking. That's when your natural instincts, your natural talents just take care of themselves and shine through.
How have you found this season for your team being the hunted, like being the team that everybody wants to chase down? Some people are calling you the standard right now, but like, what is it like bringing that in the back of your head to the rink every single night instead of, redemption, getting your first championship and trying to get to this big accomplishment? Is it a different mental exercise to bring it again and knowing that everybody's gunning for you with their best?
I think in the regular season more than the playoffs. The regular season, it's a long year. It's a bit of a grind. Like you said, every team is now bringing their best because they know that's kind of what they need to beat us. And, I'd be lying if I said it's not, extremely hard to bring it every single night, right? Like it's a long season and, but once it comes to the playoffs, I think, that's when you're seeing every team, every player's best night in, night out. And in that token, it's, we've been fine in that regard. It hasn't been that too much of a challenge. It's something I think we've embraced more, and we'll look to continue to do that the rest of the way.
Do you guys laugh when other teams come to you and say, we're going to try to be as physical as you, and you go, you're not that guy, right? Because it kind of happened early in the Carolina series where, I've known Carolina to be just extremely fast on skates, like just from one end to the other, whatever. Then all of a sudden now we got fisticuffs all the time. We're like, that's not your thing, dude. That for the Panthers, that's Tuesday.
Yeah, I think, that's where the experience and doing it all regular season long, this is where you see the payoff, right? This is where we can, withstand that and do it over and over and over again, and it be normal for us. In the playoffs, a lot of, even when I was on different teams before this, you can get up for a period or two and be physical and hard. Even a game, you can do it for 60 minutes, but to do it night in and night out when you haven't done it before is extremely challenging. It's right. I've had the experience, like I said, I've had the experiences on other teams doing that. And I think that's one of our biggest, advantages, I would say, is that we've had the experience of doing it. It's what we preached all year long from the start of training camp. It's what we did last year. It's what the guys that were here did the year before. And it's just more natural to us, I believe. And I think that's, a big reason, a big part of our success.
A couple more randos before we get you out of here, Evan. In the last win, you guys, the team put out a mic'd up, and Paul Maurice said at one point, you guys are sweet saucing it tonight, boys. What the hell does that mean? What is sweet saucing it?
He makes fun of us when we try to get cute with the puck and, make plays and be fancy. So that was someone probably threw a, nice head high saucer pass across the ice. And that was his subtle, not so subtle way of saying, hey, enough. That's, you're done.
Oh, so it wasn't a compliment?
No, well, it was a compliment, but also there was a hidden meaning of, hey, that's your like that isn't us, and that was your one, and now stop.
Is he like that with everything? Because when he talks to the media, he kind of has a sly way of making his point where everybody gets it, but then he'll smile or stay in this one tone of voice. But then you'll hear him on like in the box yelling at you guys, and I'm like, oh, he's a different dude.
Yeah, he's really, it's one of his that I found over my 2 years here is he's really good at controlling, or I guess getting the message across. Like whatever his message is, he has a way about him, whether it be in a sarcastic way or whether it be sometimes like he almost knows what we need, right? So when we need, when we need a strong and when he mother F's you, like sometimes we get the message, but then like you just mentioned, like sometimes they'll say something extremely sarcastic where we all kind of get a chuckle out of it, but then it's like, hey guys, like, okay.
Let's go.
But,
Right.
So he does a really good job of knowing what we need and what our team needs. And he's a fun coach to play for. That's for sure.
My favorite game, I think you guys end up losing a game or something. And he goes, you know what? I like a lot of things that we did. It's not like we're going to come up here tomorrow and have a punitive skate. So I've been wondering, what the hell is a punitive skate?
I think I'm wondering with you. I don't know. I'm guessing we're not coming out here and having like maybe like being all down and upset. We're going to go out there. We're going to get his big message is, we win or we learn type deal. So if you win, you're feeling good, you get back to work. But if not, you learn from it and you get right back out there, right? You learn from it. You take the things, you change the things you need to change, and you just get back to work. And, we obviously have a good setup here. We have a brand new practice facility, beautiful weather, this, that, and the other thing. We're all living our dream in a great place. But at the end of the day, when we come to the rink and it's between the hours of whatever it is, 9 to 1 or however long we're here till, we put the work boots on and we put our work in, and then we get to go enjoy ourselves. So I'm sure that was part of his message was that we're going to get back to work.
Evan Rodrigues, thanks for giving us so much time, man. Best of luck. Safe travels up to Edmonton. Will you be making any DQ runs in Edmonton? Is that part of your go-to dessert? Will you be part of the DQ crew?
I haven't been part of the DQ crew, but I've seen some things online that people are already mapping out where they are. So,
what part of Canada are you from?
Pardon?
What part of Canada are you from?
I'm from Toronto.
So my wife is from Sherbrooke.
Oh, okay,
Quebec.
yeah.
So that small little town had a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen Brazier, because they had hamburgers.
So I'm not going to put any names out there. I'll let you guys figure it out. But there is someone on this team that swears that the bacon cheeseburger at DQ is the best fast food burger out there.
It's got to be Mikola.
I'm not giving you the name, but there is a human being on the Florida Panthers that
lives by the Dairy Queen.
That's crazy. That's a crazy take.
That's what I'm leaving you guys with. So.
All right.
Hey, best of luck this series, Evan. Thanks so much spending so much time with us today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Valoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take guys up until 2 here on the program. Thanks again to Evan Rodrigues for joining the program.
So who is it?
Who likes the bacon cheeseburger?
Who's the bacon cheeseburger bandit?
I'm definitely saying it's Mikola.
Mikola. Okay. Polar bear.
It's got to be somebody that wouldn't normally have access to cheeseburgers.
Yeah, do they have
And then-
cheeseburgers in Finland?
Finland cheeseburgers. No cows in Finland.
What?
I don't know.
Dude, you know, hey, do you need a mute button inside your head?
No,
Like,
no.
is it? Don't say that. Don't send that down.
I'm carrying the show today.
Somebody said Nate Schmidt.
They got a Burger King in Finland.
All right. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 miles of inventory at the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Marlins lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants. Oof. They open up a 3-game set tonight with the Colorado Rockies. Colorado is 9-50.
Yeah, bounce back.
Worst record of the modern era.
Oof. 9-50.
9-50.
This baseball moves quick. Doesn't stop for no one.
Well, except for them. They're stopping for everyone.
They ain't really stopping. They're just not moving
They've had 4 8-game losing streaks this season.
Oof.
already. We're not even halfway through the season.
They've been swept 10 times in 20 series.
50% of the time. Quick math. That's rough. Now, how do we feel if we lose to them? Oh, God.
Oh, hey, don't lose.
Don't lose.
Don't lose.
Don't lose. This is a slump buster. Supposed to be.
Third fastest team to 50 losses, only behind the 1884 Kansas City Unions and the 1876 Cincinnati Red Stockings, who got 50 losses in 57 games.
Why don't we keep stats from that far? For this moment, to embarrass.
Just to embarrass you.
embarrass you.
To say you lost to something called the Unions.
It's been 150 years.
Oyster Barnes was on that team.
Oh, was he? God, that's rough. Are they're not like on the brink of being sold or anything, right? Like
Oh.
they're not going nowhere either. Like, and it's not the same. Like, for example, in any other sport, we're like, all right, first pick is ours. In baseball, it's like, good luck. I don't
How
even
do
think
they figure out who the hell has the first pick?
They have a lottery.
Oh, do they?
first round
Is it
picks
the
don't
same
have
as
the same
basketball?
face value either, right?
I don't know if it's the same odds, but they have a lottery. I think the Marlins, the worst that they could have fallen was 8th last year, and they ended up with 7th. Wasn't bouncing their way.
Huh.
Jeez.
I mean, to
At
be
what
honest
point-
with you, if I'm Major League Baseball, and I know this sounds crazy, but if you spend less than 80 million for your roster, why on earth, as a franchise and as baseball, would I then give you the first pick? Right?
I mean, I guess. I don't like, so you think that the teams that pay, they should also get the best players in the draft?
No,
Like, why not just
no, I'm not.
eradicate
No, I'm not
teams?
saying that. I'm saying that there should be you should be trying. Let me put it that way. You should be trying, because if the object of winning is important to baseball, then why would you send a young player to an organization that is merely going to do everything they possibly can to own his rights for as long as possible while he's not playing in the major leagues? So when some of these hot players come out, right, there's no, like, there's no move to get that talent on a major league team. For whatever reason, the rules are the rules. I get that. But that tends to happen more with teams that are terrible because they don't want to have to pay no money. And not because they want to, you know what I mean? And not because they don't want to get a star player out there.
Yeah, but I guess the other point of it would be, like, if you have all the teams that are spending money, what are the odds a young guy's going to get up there when at the time he could get up there, because he could be blocked by somebody with real talent?
True. I just think if the Marlins have the first pick and you get all excited about the Marlins having the first pick, we all know where that's going. That even if he's a bona fide star or Hall of Famer, that as soon as they have to play him and he comes up and does well, they're going to trade him for prospects.
I mean, I don't like to do it like that. Like, Sandy Alcantara has had a good career with the Marlins. Like, if you would have and he wasn't drafted by the Marlins, they traded for him, but I don't think that you get to just throw away all the years that are good. Like, I don't agree with that. They just haven't been very good at drafting, especially sticks, in any recent memory. They haven't been good at it.
Right.
So you can't even say, like, oh, well, you haven't gotten to get the full use out of it. They haven't been able to find anybody. Now, like, there's some guys this year that are finally, like, coming around that they've traded for, but no, I don't agree with that. I think that, those years are valuable, and especially there is the one thing with baseball, there does seem to be a big, when the guys do reach free agency, there does seem to be a pretty steep decline after you get to 30 with most players,
right?
Because you can't juice like they used to be. Stupid.
So my question would be, why wouldn't you want to try to get their services sooner? Because you didn't want to pay the big money.
Yeah, I don't think teams are doing that as much. I think there's been a couple of turns, but I don't think teams are doing that much. But, like, there are teams that do feel like they're in a bit of an endless cycle with that. Like, that's happening with the Pirates and Skeens right now too.
Right.
Where, like, he's even in trade rumors. Like, he just got up here. What are you putting him in trade rumors for?
Like, I think, I mean, when I'm thinking of, like, my heyday in baseball was 90s and early 2000s, right? You couldn't wait for those young guys to come up, right? And so you get excited about young talent moving up through the organization. And now you're just like, man, like, that same excitement over having somebody in your system that you drafted and having them when they're going to get to the big leagues, it just doesn't happen anymore. You don't have, I mean,
I think that's because of I think that's a thing you're localized though. We just haven't had that probably since the big outfield came up. Like, it's just
right.
it's been bereft.
Right. When was the last time I want to say Acuna was pretty young, right? When he came to the big leagues.
Yeah.
Right. But, like, those guys are few and far between, and it used to be pretty regular.
I don't think it is few and far between. I think you're Marlinsed.
I'm looking through Marlins' eyes.
Yeah, I think you're Marlins.
Right.
I don't think it's true.
All right.
Drew Rosenhaus was on WSVN yesterday. Said his piece on the Jonnu Smith contract. Drew said, quote, "Here's what I will say on behalf of my client. Jonnu would definitely like to stay in Miami. That's his first choice. This is where he lives in the off season. He had a record-breaking season last year. It was the best season ever for a Miami Dolphins tight end. He broke the team record for receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns for a tight end, and was the team's single Pro Bowl player. He's incredibly valuable, part of the team. Went to college at FIU. His dream team is the Dolphins, so hopefully everything works out where he can stay in Miami."
I mean, you can't list all those accomplishments and then say he's the 29th highest paid tight end. Right? That's
but he is. I mean, like I think, and I don't even think this is a circumstance of his his production or his fault. I think this is just where the Dolphins team is at right now.
right.
They blew it so hard with spending their money last year that it's continuing to have casualties for this roster. Maybe it'll be different when they trade Jalen Ramsey and they have a little bit more space. Maybe they'll feel different, but maybe they won't. I don't know. I don't really know. It kind of feels a little bit like ownership is telling Mike and Chris Greer, but it feels more like Mike. Like, hey, you got your guys. Go figure it out.
Yeah, I would like to say getting 40 or 50 million on the field playing would also help. They had a lot of money on the bench last year. A lot.
Yeah, mostly Tua though.
No. Yeah, Tua, Chubb. I'm not going to include Jalen Phillips. He's still on a rookie contract. Armstead, when he decided to play. I mean, it's just that's a lot of money to not have on the field. Like, it's not like, okay, we drafted a guy in the first round and he got hurt. Okay. No. These are guys that you extended, gave big contracts to, right? And for whatever reason, they weren't out there. So I think that's unfortunate. Like, you can have the guys you spend money on in football, you need to depend on in some capacity, right? Hopefully the amount of money you spend, you get that return. It doesn't always happen. So that's dream world stuff. But there are certain guys that you have to have on the field and have to be available. That's Tyreek, that's Tua, I would say Chubb, Phillips, right? You got to have these guys in a rotation because they're going to have, because of their abilities, more of an impact on this team than anybody else you could bring in. And so, yeah, when those guys are out or those guys are banged up, I don't care what team they play for, you're going to feel a pinch from that. And that's what happened last year.
But I think you'd also say, like, especially with with Tua's injury, like the offense and those two weapons that they paid, like it didn't live up to what they paid.
Correct. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For,
I don't think
preferably.
So I don't think ownership is going to be like, oh, let's reach into our pockets and give more of a. And it's nothing against Jonnu Smith. I just think that is where it is right now.
Well, I think conversations need to be had about this, and I would say if I'm an owner and I don't know anything about the inner workings of football, but all I know about is I'm a businessman and I've, and I've made money, providing services and whatever I do. I would say we've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on guys that either have been banged up or don't want to be here anymore. And as a businessman, I would say, are we selecting the wrong players to pay this money? Right? Because we're not getting our return. And I think that's the conversation that needs to be had more than anything. Because unlike business, if you want something, you can go buy it. In these situations, you also have to give up future assets. So you're giving up, you're paying these players and extending them, and you're giving up draft capital.
We'll take a break here on the show. Back with more after this.
A couple of days away from the
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. With the Miami Heat holding the 20th pick, fans can attend a draft party in person at the Kaseya Center on June 25th. The event will feature immersive activities, including shots on the court, exclusive photo opportunities, appearances by Heat legends, live entertainment from Heat talent, and more. To RSVP, go to heat.com/draft party.
Wow. You know what? You said something to me last week.
What did I say?
Told me to do some research.
What?
Yeah, because I was talking about you were talking about mock drafts.
Yeah.
And told me to do my own research in regards to who I think the Heat should take with the 20th
I don't think I
pick.
told you to do that.
You definitely did. You said, you know what? Why don't you do your own stupid little draft then? And then after crying about it for about 2 hours, did some research. So this week I'll be bringing you the 5-star Frog Boy Big Board.
Do we really have to?
You're welcome.
All right. When is that going to be ready?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Great.
Just in time.
Can't wait. Saquon Barkley has been named the Madden cover athlete. Nobody wants their favorite player getting that.
I know, but I am so happy they picked that picture. That's cool.
When he does the hurdle.
Yeah, the backwards hurdle.
It was cool.
That's cool. You got
It's objectively cool, but nobody wants their favorite player to get that honor.
No, yeah, for sure.
That's an honor. You're like, because whether you believe in curses or not, you're going to be thinking about it.
No, for sure.
You know?
Let's see, I already forget who was on last year's. Christian McCaffrey. Well, there's that.
Ooh.
I tell you.
Madden curse is a strong one, dude.
Continues. And 2 running backs back to back. Before that,
but remember, who was it? The running back from Minnesota. He was on it and then ran for 2,000.
Yeah, it's not an undefeated curse, but it's a strong one.
Right.
You know, like it's got a very strong record. So it's not like, you're not doomed. It's not a death sentence, but it's you're going to be nervous about it all year. There's no doubt about that. Nobody wants their favorite players getting the Madden cover.
Oh, so confusing.
What?
Because he was on the cover of like the game that was released in 2014, but they called it 25. Oh, gross. They called it 25, but it came out in 2014. This last one was 25.
So it was like the 25th anniversary?
Yeah, it was. Okay. But it came out like, obviously not in 25. So I think that's a glitch in the curse. And that's the only reason why. Because they just, they dated it incorrectly. Therefore, doesn't count. Curse is still undefeated.
All right.
Yeah, when he got it last year, does the Madden curse still work? 2001, Eddie George.
Come on.
Went on to rush for 1,500 yards in his cover season, but also lost a career high number of fumbles.
Look at that.
Coughed of the ball in the Titans' season-ending playoff game.
Yeah.
Never averaged more than 3.4 yards per carry the rest of his career. Verdict? Cursed.
Absolutely.
2002, Dante Culpepper.
Woo,
From
never
CBS
mind. Keep it moving.
Okay.
Cursed. 2003, Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, good.
Hall of Famer entered his cover season, having logged 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons and 3 straight 1,300-yard campaigns. But in 2002, Faulk broke down, missed nearly half a dozen starts, never topped 1,000 again. Verdict.
That
Cursed. 2004, Michael Vick. In the game, Michael Vick was unstoppable.
Keep it moving.
Cursed. 2005, Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
His interception total dropped from 6 to 0 in 2004, his cover year. The Ravens also missed the playoffs, but that's nitpicking. He still logged 147 tackles. If we were talking about the following year, it might be a case made as he missed 10 games. But the verdict here, not cursed.
I'll tell you why he escaped that.
What's that?
Introduction of the hit stick that year.
What?
That's a gift to the world. So, you see a guy, you want to hit him, you flick the stick. That was that year.
2006, Donovan McNabb.
Oof.
2005 was rock bottom. He scuffled with Terrell Owens, missed half the season for a 6-10 year, went on to miss 8 games. Verdict, cursed. 2007, Sean Alexander, cursed. 2008, Vince Young.
Come on.
Cursed.
Never the same. 2009,
Packers, Jets, Brett Favre.
Come on.
Cursed.
Wasn't even there
Yeah,
for
but
like
he wasn't terrible with the
well,
Jets.
he threw an NFL high 22 picks.
He's
Yeah,
been
he-
doing that his whole career. What are you talking about? How can all of a sudden we look at a stat that he has most interceptions than anybody in the world, right?
Yeah, but don't forget, he got that. Remember, that was a year where he was retired and then unretired to go to the Jets. So they were trying to honor his career.
Yep.
Went to the Jets. He showed his dealio to Jen Sturger.
That's right.
And not a great judge here.
No.
Cursed.
Yep, cursed.
All right.
This one's weird.
2010.
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, Steelers safety Troy Polamalu. They split the cover.
Yeah.
Fitz had a standard Pro Bowl season with more than 1,000 yards, but Polamalu missed a career high 11 games and in 2009 thanks to a torn MCL. Recorded a career low 20 tackles. Verdict: half cursed.
Half cursed.
Half cursed.
I mean, there was
we can't put the curse on Larry.
Yeah.
That's why it's half cursed.
Well, you know why they escaped? See, the first one escaped with a hit stick. This one escaped because two athletes. You can't curse two times. You can't double curse. It's not double curse.
It's kind of,
You know, Final Destination can only kill one guy at a time.
I gotta tell you, strong. We're only halfway to where we're at.
That's a strong curse.
Is there a run of not cursed? 2011, Drew Brees. Saints were 7-9, lost to the 7-9 Seahawks in the playoffs. That's cursed.
That's cursed. Throwing a career high and franchise high in picks.
Peyton Hillis, 2012.
Oh, never mind. Keep it moving.
It's cursed.
Yeah. This one's interesting. This one's interesting. Yeah.
What one?
Do you want me to go?
Oh yeah, I was reading it.
Oh, okay.
In my brain.
2013 Lions wide receiver Calvin Johnson. If anyone conquered the curse, it was Johnson, who had both a career and historic season when he was on the cover. Like Barry Sanders before him in Detroit, retired relatively early, but 2012 put up a whopping 1,964 receiving yards.
Okay.
Not cursed.
Not cursed.
Hey, you think?
Like I'll say his stats weren't cursed, but I mean it was a Detroit Lion. So.
2014 Adrian Peterson. If Johnson shouted the curse, Peterson might have slightly reignited it in 2013. While he topped 1,000 yards for the sixth straight season, he saw a big dip from his historic 2,000-yard campaign that missed all but one game the following year after being indicted on child abuse charges. Verdict: half cursed.
Half cursed. That's interesting.
2015 Richard Sherman. They said not cursed.
Okay.
Odell Beckham, not cursed.
Although he did get Tommy John surgery, Richard Sherman that year, but it was after the season, so I guess.
No, it only goes by what you did the following year.
Yeah, I feel that. Odell Beckham not cursed, but I mean,
2017 Rob Gronkowski.
Oof.
Double-digit touchdown season 2016. He missed virtually all of the Patriots' first 4 games with a hamstring injury. He finished with just 6 starts due to a herniated disc. Cursed.
Yeah.
Crazy.
See, they say 2018 Tom Brady wasn't cursed because he won an MVP and went to the Super Bowl, but I mean, he lost to Nick Foles, dude. That's cursed to me. The Philly special?
Still, though, for a production season, I don't think you could call losing the Super Bowl a curse. Maybe for his standards.
At 40? Yeah, I feel that.
2019 Antonio Brown, cursed.
Cursed, for sure. 2020.
And then we got kind of a run of no curse.
Look at that.
We had like a 4-year run of no curse.
Yeah.
Between Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Then they did a Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Like they went with the Patrick Mahomes.
They went with the healthiest, usually the healthiest players on the field, the quarterback.
Yeah, so they went a little safe. But there was like a run there, like a good decade long, where you were cursed.
They tried to be too cute with it.
And you know what's interesting? They went back to the running back with Christian McCaffrey, cursed. Now we have Saquon. Got to determine if it's going to be a cursed season.
Keep an eye on it. There's no way the Eagles fan feels happy about that.
There's no way.
There's no way you feel happy about that.
If there was a Dolphin you had to put on the cover, knowing that the curse could potentially exist, anyone comes to mind?
No.
Just because you're scared of the curse.
Because it just feels like.
Wait, how about, hear me out. How about if a player was selected as the number one player in the league but had a bad year, you put him on it to reverse the curse.
Reverse the curse.
So
What'd
if
you
I
get after a bad
if I
year?
put it on Tyreek, put Tyreek on the cover, he goes for 2,000.
I don't think that's how it works, dude.
I'm
Is
just saying,
how curses
like
work? You never know.
we've always done it with players that have had good years or great years.
So you want a bounce back cover year? Like that's you strategy for you? Interesting.
Yeah.
Who had a bad year?
You're
Let's
gonna have
put
to
him on
bring
the
that up with
cover.
EA Sports.
Tyreek.
Who really underachieved? Let's put him on the
Tyreek.
Yeah, no, for sure. So much drama around him though.
That's the thing.
Like that. Like
Can't trust him on the cover.
What are we gonna? Yeah. What are we gonna?
You put him on the cover, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
I'll tell you what's never cursed.
Huh?
Good dry cleaning.
Oh,
You want to make sure your wardrobe is always set right. For the best dry cleaning in South Florida, you want to use our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. The owners that's our guy over there. And you guys can call or text him anytime. His number is 954-610-9383. That's 954-610-9383.
Tobin. They've been around for 40 years. It's family owned and run. They can do same day sewing. Give Ira a call. They have a seamstress on site. You know they're gonna hook you up because this is mom, right? He can pick up and drop off your orders. It's summertime. Y'all getting ready for vacation, graduations, weddings, everything. He can take care of you. He services all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beaches. And he's a big fan of our show. So if you mention Tobin and Leroy, you get 25% off. 25%. I'm telling you, it adds up. 25%. That's a good deal. So just text or call Ara at 954-610-9383 at any time. And once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never launder your own clothes again.
WQAM broadcast.
bum, 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 bum.
This guy's a ball.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for Leroy Horde to hand out his game balls and game bums.
Bum.
What do you got for us today, Leroy?
So today, some slim pickings out there, but I'm gonna go to golf. Two people, Scotty Scheffler and Maya Stark. Maya Stark is, I think, Swedish, spelled Maja. And she won the U.S. Women's Open.
Cool.
So that was really cool. And somebody put this stat on Twitch just a second ago. So this is why I had to say Scotty Scheffler, because I'm going to follow it up with the Colorado Rockies. You ready for this stat?
Mm-hmm.
Since May 4th, Scotty Scheffler has more PGA Tour wins than Colorado Rockies have.
Yeesh.
Wins, right? But Scotty doesn't have the personality of all the other stars, you know, the Tiger, the Jack, the Arnie's, or whatever. But right now, he has done something that only Tiger and Jack has done, and that's had this many wins, this many majors before 30. Now, he looks like he's 40. Dude is 29 years old. So, yeah, that's incredible. And, huh? You know what's funny about that? Every tour player that they talk about him, so he's the nicest guy we've ever met. So my game bum, like, I thought the Marlins were bad. Damn, Colorado. Like, that's a whole nother level of bad. Right? At least the Marlins are competitive for half the game before they get blown out. Like, come on. That's terrible. To say all those guys are professional baseball players.
Bum.
You can't accidentally win one game. They've been swept 8 times.
Yeah, the Marlins are just your run-of-the-mill, not good team. They're not a historically bad team.
Right.
Which I thought they were going to be, to be honest.
I did too. They can hit though. Mm-hmm. They got some stick. They got no pitching. But Yuri Perez is coming back soon.
Yeah.
He looks good.
It's pretty crazy that the strength of this team over the years, we thought, well, the pitching will always keep you in it. And then you might have had problems at the end of games, right? Because of the bullpen. But it's been the opposite this year. Guys have been hitting, scoring runs. Pitching staff can't get nobody out.
It's been rough. It's been a rough one going for them. That's for sure. So there you go. Leroy Horde's game balls and game bums.
Bum.
Congratulations, by the way, to Sasha Barkov. We've just gotten word that he has been awarded the King Clancy Trophy, which is a bit like Man of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
Okay, cool.
For hockey, he was presented by it with several girls and boys from the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, which is something he does a lot of work in. He's donated a lot of money for his goals over the years to the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. So congratulations to Sasha Barkov, who has also been awarded his 3rd Selke Trophy.
Wow. 2 awards?
He got 2 awards.
Look at that.
The kids wheeled in. They had 1 award, and they're like, guess what?
By the way,
that's not all the hardware. Here's some more. So he got his 3rd Selke Award, which has been only done 6 times in NHL history. Reinhardt, he finished 2nd in the voting.
Oh, how about that? You finished 2nd to your teammate. That doesn't happen in any other sport, right?
Oh,
where
man.
For
Something
any
like that.
award, defensive, offensive player of the year, like, you're never going to have 2 guys on one team competing for that same award.
Best defensive forward. That is what that award is for. So The Cats going to need their two top guys in this upcoming series against the high-powered Edmonton Oilers. But these Panthers, they love to shut bleep down. That's what they do.
I like the Heisman. No. Never had two guys from the same team up for the Heisman.
Dorsey and McGahee were top 5, top 3.
Bush Leinert.
Really?
Bush Leinert, yeah. Bush Leinert. They both went to New York.
Yeah. Yeah, come thinking, yeah. That was the year Leinert won it, though, right? No, Bush won it.
Bush won it, and then they stole it from him.
And then they just gave it back to him.
Yeah, whatever. Tainted.
I don't understand. If you're going to do that, why, like, in all these things that happen in college sports, how come the player is the one that gets fined in the most trouble and the coach can just go to another job?
I don't know. Scapegoat in every situation.
Streets needed a body.
Streets needed a body.
Gave it to Reggie.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
But congratulations to Sasha Barkov. Continues to rack up all the hardware.
Yeah.
He's good.
He is
good. Yep.
Doesn't need him.
You're going to have to outscore McDavid by like 20 goals if you want to get the Conn Smythe, unfortunately, Barkov, because they basically give it to that loser no matter what.
Wow.
What?
Sounds like a lot of pettiness.
It does it?
Well, usually the MVP goes to the team, the winning team, and a player from that team. So I don't know why mysteriously hockey wants to do it differently. It's like the only other was Jerry West did it, right?
We know how
basketball.
We know it's going to be. Everyone is hoping the Golden Boy can get it, but we'll see, man. These Cats, they're not to be trifled with.
The thing is that they're so, in order for them to win, there's a couple of guys that have to score.
They came into this, well, they have a lot of firepower. Like, there's no doubt about that. I think they have 3 of the top 4 scorers in all of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, you know, we get into the first, don't forget, remember the Panthers walked into the first series of the playoffs and, like, was it 22 of 23 ESPN experts picked the Lightning to win?
Yep.
Same thing went for the Maple Leafs. Everybody's, they're too high power. They're going to get past them this time. Carolina, they're no fun to play. Like, and I just feel like the Cats have been just having to beat the belief into everybody.
Well, it's because
which is kind of crazy for a defending champion.
Well, the way they look at it as superstars, right? So that's why they go to Draisaitl. Is it Draisaitl and Connor McDavid?
Yes.
Okay. That's why they go to those two guys and the 3 of the 4 top scorers. But the Panthers have 17 guys that have scored?
19.
19 different guys who have scored. And so I get the feeling that if I keep you in check, McDavid and Draisaitl, that we have enough depth that we can score from any line, and that gives us an advantage. I think they have 16 different goal scorers. All right, erase that last thought.
Nah, who knows?
You were going down the right path, Leroy. You were trying to come up with a hockey take.
Right. I'm just saying, like, okay. 16 different. And I appreciate all my statisticians. Dave South, there have been finalists for the Heisman 8 times.
You've just kind of been throwing takes against the wall that have not been accurate this segment. But
well, I'm just spitballing. Like, I don't have. Wait. Hold on. I admit to having a thought without any statistics to support it, but it just had that feeling, right?
I feel like if I did the same thing, though, you would crush me for it, like for just throwing things against the wall.
No, I wouldn't know.
You had that feeling.
Like, it's different.
If I ever went that route, I would get killed for that.
So wait a minute. So it sounds like a fun conversation. It wasn't like we got the actual stats on it. Now people know. So I would say great conversation.
Nope.
Mac Jones and Devontae Smith. Mac Jones wasn't winning that. Come on. Stop it.
Flashing out.
Flashing out. And
I'm
deflecting.
not lashing out. It was merely just food for thought.
You got to think about your takes like I do.
What?
Put some
Really?
thought.
Dude.
Some real research.
You put about as much thought into your takes as like, I don't know, dude. Like you are so willy-nilly and flimsy with them lately.
No way.
Yeah.
I've been on point today.
Let me
I
tell
have
you
been on
something.
point with this
If
whole
you have to start a takeoff with "Hear Me Out,"
Oh, you know whose move that is. Hear me out. I would never.
Can I just say this? I'm looking outside. It looks hot.
What?
It looks
Questionable
hot.
activity.
It looks hot.
All right, well, give us a weather update from the Demesman and
I
Dover law
wasn't
firm.
ready for all that, but
Well, you already brought it up. Demesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentatories.com. Free consultation 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
Every time he's got a guitar, just how
One
like
big happy family. Yeah. Got to get that part in. All right, it is mostly cloudy over by me, but what I will tell you is it's that time of year. Winds are coming out of the west and winds are blowing off the ocean. And wherever they meet up, that's where you have the evening rain. Usually it's over West Broward and the western portions of Dade and Broward and the Palm Beaches out west, because that's where these easterly and westerly winds meet. Right now the winds are blowing. Man, the trees, the leaves are looking at me like we hot as hell too, bruh. Hardly no wind. I would say if it is coming, it's coming out of the west. Yeah. Looks like maybe a little northwest. And it's about 88 degrees right now. But I would say don't let anybody tell you about the rain chances in South Florida. This time of year, 100%. It's going to rain at some time, somewhere during the course of a day, because that moisture and that heat just building up. So somebody going to get some rain. Yesterday it rained. Almost didn't get done with golf. I wish it had rained earlier so I could leave without being miserable the last two holes. But anyway, we got done during the rain, and then I got home, and then it didn't rain no more later on in the day, and it was hot. It was hot.
Steamy. We'll take a break.
Steamy.
Get you caught up with your headlines. Back with more for this.
Midday
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Get to our headlines here, which are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory at the Tucson, Skyline, Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. The Marlins will be back at it tonight, taking on the Colorado Rockies. 6:40 first pitch. Rockies. Oof. Some Heat fodder out there today.
Ooh.
Euro Hoops is saying that the Heat have interviewed Sergio Scariolo as an associate coaching job under Erik Spoelstra. Scariolo has been the national coach for Spain. He was an assistant coach of the Raptors a few years back under Nick Nurse. And apparently, according to reports out of Phoenix, the Suns will finalize their head coaching search this week. Chris Quinn amongst the finalists. I believe he's one of 3 finalists right now. So keep that in mind. I don't know if one thing has to do with another. I don't know. I don't know even if Chris Quinn does come back, if they still have Scariolo as part of the staff. Maybe they do. I was listening to a little bit of him. I was listening. There was a podcast he did a couple of weeks ago, and he was like,
looking for an accent, weren't you?
He does have a good accent.
Right.
Classy.
All right.
He does have an accent.
Oh, Shams just tweeted. Quinn is out.
Did he really? What do you mean he's out? Hold on.
Can't trust it. Can't trust it. Leroy, you
can't.
can't trust Schmeethid for anything.
That's true. Hold on.
No, they yeah, okay. Shams did tweet, narrowed their coaching.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here you go. So they've narrowed their head coaching. The Phoenix Suns have narrowed their head coaching search to 2 finalists: Cleveland Cavaliers associate Johnny Bryant and assistant Jordan Ott.
Yeah.
Both will meet with Suns owner Matt Ishbia in Michigan ahead of their hiring soon later this week. And I think Ott is a Michigan State guy, and that's like their whole thing. They want to be like Middle Michigan State.
Not gonna work.
So yeah, Chris Quinn apparently is on the outs, but that doesn't mean that they're not gonna still, make an addition to the staff. Like I don't think there's not like there's a salary cap on coaches.
Unless they got just okay, come on. Look, they got word that Quinny boy wasn't gonna get the job in Phoenix, and they said, you know what, this is a perfect opportunity. Clearly, he's capable of a head coaching position. Let's just go, everyone just going on boop, boop, boop. You get it.
No, I don't.
Boop.
What is that? Can you, for our radio audience, can you explain what that sound effect is? Because you're just
thumb up, boop, upstairs.
I thought you were kicking him upstairs. Now you're picking him up by your thumb.
I would say this. Maybe because offensively, basketball and offense looks more like European basketball, not the defense, but just how they use bigs and how they use different guys to handle the ball or whatever in different sets. Maybe they bring this guy in for some offensive expertise. I mean, because
that was the thing that was, when I was watching this podcast that he was doing, that was the thing that was interesting about it, is he said that one of the things when he was at the Raptors that he liked when he was, a head coach in Europe, he goes, you got to deal with all the drama, you got to deal with all the agents, you got to deal with all the playing time. He goes, I love the fact that I could just dive deep into basketball. I was like, oh, that was kind of good. Take him into the lab, figure things out. I don't think he's necessarily known as an offensive guy or a defensive guy. I would say actually probably on the read of it, like he leans probably more even defensive, but he's kind of well-rounded. Like he's got an ability to do all of it. Again, I'm no expert. I've been researching the guy for 2 hours today. So if I get more on it, I will. But I will say, just listening to him, he's like, one of the things that he liked about being on an NBA staff is just really just focusing on the basketball aspect of everything. And obviously, he has had some pretty big acumen in Europe too. Like you win Eurobasket, that's a big deal, especially with Spain, who's got as big of standards as they do. And I don't think a lot of people thought that Spanish team was going to win Euro Cup. So, and I think he also lost to Goran and Luka's team.
Oh, it's a good team.
That was a good team.
This coach, man, he's got some credentials. Got some
You
credentials.
just want to kick people upstairs. I don't even think you care.
Everyone just go upstairs.
Can I tell you something that annoyed me, though?
Yes.
Am I really to believe that Giannis and the Toronto Raptors have mutual interest?
Oh, no.
Do I really have to believe that? Like, do I have to give that a second of daylight?
Would you count Toronto as a big city? I think so, right?
It is a big city. It is a big city.
A huge city.
Yes. I know. That was one of the things he wanted. Obviously, big city. And, I mean, but still Canada, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Canada. Come on. Well, he stays in the East. I think that's all. Big city, and he stays in the East. I don't see the draw. Scotty Barnes, is anyone dying to play with Scotty Barnes? Are we like
Maybe he is dying to play with Scotty Barnes? I don't know.
We got to link up with who's the former Nick that played at Duke?
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, RJ Barrett and I are gonna put together a dream team. I don't see it. There's no appeal in Toronto. Do they have like cap space that I'm unaware of potentially?
That'd be a trade, so like it doesn't really matter. Like they have contracts they could trade. They just traded for Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, that's right.
So Brandon Ingram, Giannis,
Scotty Barnes. Well, I mean, would he be a part of the trade package?
Ooh, is it RJ?
I'd imagine one of them has to be.
Yeah.
Just to make the salary. I'm like,
come on.
I know this is good, but like, do I have to really give that in like a moment's thought? He ain't gonna be a Raptor.
No, he said Florida.
That's what we said about Kawhi.
No. Kawhi,
yeah, but
said the same thing. Stop it.
Come on.
He was at Chipotle.
We can't, like, when these type of things get out and somebody's a free agent and taking trips or whatever, you can't trust nothing that Tobin says, because Tobin says what he wants it to be and not what it is.
That's not true.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's true at all.
Then where's Dame Lillard?
That wasn't my fault, though. He did want to be in Miami. You can't deny that. Hey, bro, do you have to put your water right in the microphone? Like, I'm just asking you, like, as a person who's been doing this for a while like you, is there any shot you could ever mute the mic so we don't have to sound like we're on Splash Mountain?
And the mic button's on the same side as the juice was in my hand.
Right there on your screen. It's right there on your screen. You can take.
Oh, I could have hit the screen.
Yeah.
I usually hit the button on my mic.
Oh, you don't usually hit any button because we're always just getting like.
Okay. He's lashing out, Leroy. Don't let him lash out.
Hey,
wow. That's good.
No.
Somebody mind checking the weather for me?
What are you doing?
That's seriously, like, that's every time you take a drink.
You're like shaking it like a salt shaker over there.
Shaking like a salt shaker. He's making a margarita.
Reminds me of like one of those birds that people used to put on their office.
Oh, by the way,
what?
We had a new animal for a minute.
What? In your home?
Rebecca found a woodpecker. Little baby woodpecker.
Oh, on the ground or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like,
okay.
So she brought him in, nursed him for a couple of days, took him outside to get some fresh air, flew away.
That's nice.
Oh, look at that.
Healed him back to where he has to be.
A weekend with Woody.
Can I tell you another thing that annoys me?
This is what happens when there's no sports over the weekend.
No, but seriously.
Like, we feel like we should be sitting in a circle.
If you're Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, here we
and you're
go.
going to start counting down.
Yeah.
5.
We count down.
Doesn't there have to be a trade once we get to 0?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it should already be in the workings.
Shouldn't it be done? Like when you were doing all that subtweeting, shouldn't we have been here on June 1st and he should have been on his team already? I feel like it loses a little bit of luster. Like you think you called him his agent? You think you called him his agent on the yesterday? And he goes, "Hey, what's up with the Rams trade?" He goes, "They don't want to give up anything for you." Oh, anybody else? He goes, "Not really. Everybody kind of thinks you're a pain in the ass too."
No one really wants you. Sorry.
The agent will actually ever have that talk with him. Be like, "Jalen, you're kind of a pain in the ass. Everybody's like a little bit rats off a ship on you. To be honest, dude."
The Cowboys will take him.
Let's see. Man, poor Chris Quinn.
What? What do you mean? He's right where he needs
How old
to
is
be.
Chris Quinn?
Oh, he's young, 34.
42?
42.
41. Turns 42 this year.
See, I nailed it.
That's relatively young, right? But he's been on the bench for a few years, so maybe
Yeah.
not that young.
He has been on the Heat staff since 2014, and I think he's been lead assistant for the last
2014.
5, I think after Fizdale left.
Okay.
Wow. So if he's been on the bench since 2014, he got a job as a coach at 30. It's crazy.
Yeah, he got a job right after Shaq trashed him.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Probably went to HR like, you see what Shaq did to me? Give me a job.
What? That's not what happened at all.
We'll call it even.
God.
We'll call it even.
Sham says the Phoenix Suns have narrowed their head coaching search to Johnny Bryant. His name's Johnny. Grow up, dude.
Come on, dude.
Jordan Ott. Both Brian and Ott met with Suns owner Matt Ishbia and Josh Bartelstein and general manager Brian Gregory in Michigan as soon as later this week. After firing Budenholzer. The Suns embarked on a comprehensive coaching search. Gregory led a multi-round process that began with over 15 coaching interviews, a group of approximately 8 candidates of second rounds before 5. Bryant, Ott, Miami's Chris Quinn, Oklahoma City's Dave Bliss, and current staff member David Fizdale advanced in-person visits this week. Suns franchise cornerstone Devin Booker had been involved in the search process over the last 7 to 10 days. So maybe Devin Booker, he was like, hey, a little more defense, a little bit less turnstile, and he goes, I don't like that. Get him out of here.
So everyone's just like, KD's out for sure. There's no way KD's a Sun next year.
It seems like everybody is.
He's
under
weird.
The,
he's weird.
Under the
like
advisement, he's for sure out.
Yeah. Seems like that's how they're operating. Because I heard, Devin Booker, obviously they're consulting with him during the entire process. Not about Kevin Durant.
They're just doing that so he won't leave.
Yeah, of course. Got to hold on to something.
He's not going to leave.
Nah, he's happy over there.
He's going to pull he's Bradley Beal. You know what Bradley Beal's going to say? Hey, Devin, come here, baby.
Forgot he was over there.
He goes, what's up, Brad? He goes, listen, winning's cool, but you want to know what's better than winning? Ubermax.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah. And then he goes, and then he goes, hey, check this out. And then when you think about leaving, you say, oh, no trade clause, baby.
No trade clause.
He was somebody who would never want around my star player. It'd be Bradley Beal, who's just like, go with
giving advice on how to screw your organization.
Listen. What you want to do is you want to be like, maybe I'll leave. And then what you do, hey, when we play the Heat, give your jersey to Bam Adebayo. Make it seem like you want to leave.
Okay.
He goes, Bam, I don't even know Bam that well. He goes, well, whatever, dude. Make it whoever you want. Doesn't have it was Bam in this case. Doesn't have to be Bam. But if you really want to put the screws to the Suns, give your jersey to somebody else and have them wear it during post game. He goes, oh, that's good.
That is good.
He goes, trust me, dude. NTC will be right your way. He goes, what's that? No trade clause. And whatever
Do you think
do,
KD would be less of a curmudgeon if he was with Miami because he knows like that crap don't fly here?
I don't know.
Because there's only been a handful of players that the Heat have brought into their organization that toe the company line all the time. Right.
My read of it was he wasn't a curmudgeon in Phoenix. The thing that pissed him off in Phoenix is they tried to trade him without telling him.
Well, earlier in the year.
Yeah, like that's what got him all pissed. He wasn't like he really wasn't making a stink, and they're just like, he's like, wait, you were just gonna trade me and not tell me? Really?
Right.
Kevin Durant.
That means you got to get out of that organization because you ain't gonna control nothing.
Right. Typical rat behavior. Take a break. Back after this.
Just a couple of days away
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM.
Yeah, somebody said shout out to Thomas Bryant.
Shout out.
Made a couple of threes. I'm like, yeah, that's what he used to do here.
I mean, in blowouts.
So wait, he couldn't get on the field for Miami, only in blowouts, but he's playing for Indiana?
Well, I think their backup center got hurt, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's like kind of how it ended up in the same situation. Good for him, though. He's a Hoosier. So great teammate, too. Like everybody seemed to like that. He wasn't a grump like Dedmon was.
Gun thrower.
Well, massage gun.
Massage gun. Yeah, I got to specify.
Let's get to the road to repeat here. Brought to us by our friends over at Celsius.
Yeah.
Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. I had me a retro vibe this morning.
Cats will be heading to Edmonton, which is, I feel bad for them. It's far travel, all in the name of the cup. I think tomorrow's media
How long is
day.
that flight? 8 hours? 9 hours?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. You could either binge watch something or catch a long nappy poo. But it's the longest travel I think there is in the. They're basically except is Vancouver further or Edmonton further?
Edmonton's further.
Edmonton.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Because you got to go west and then way north.
And there's every trip that I see has a stop. So I'm trying to see. There's this doesn't look like a great airlines, but there's a 1 hour and 15 stop in this one. But if I were to just take that away from the total 9-hour trip, I'm assuming it's about an 8-hour flight, but that doesn't seem right.
They'll just get a big jet, fly out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami and fly directly there.
It's going to be a delight. I can't wait. Excited to get back in action. I miss our cats. Get back after this action. That's what we need. Sergei
We get to see
Bobrovsky.
hockey first, too. It goes hockey, then basketball.
Sure. Sergei Bobrovsky, the best. This was him on why he stays in the moment. Focused.
You know, it's you're just trying to be in the moment and take everything from the moment. You enjoy the moment and savor the moment. You know, you're not trying to cut yourself off thinking about the head or what's happened in the past. So you're just trying to take advantage of the opportunity. Again, it's a great opportunity. Only 2 teams left, you know, and we're one of them, and we have a opportunity to win it all. So it's an exciting time, and I want to enjoy every bit of it.
Oh, man. Sounds like he's ready, dude. He is all in.
Not bad for a guy that loses 15 pounds every game.
Such a stupid idiot.
Like, it's not even like the thing that makes it so bad, what you're saying, Marcos.
Yeah.
Scientifically, it's not possible.
He doesn't care.
But your dumbass keeps saying it to show you how little you know about the subject matter.
Well, sometimes science can be beaten. And I thought
you can't beat science with dehydration, dude.
Yeah, but you said that you saw a claim that said he claimed it, which he never claimed.
Okay, I'm not the only guy who got duped here. It's not like when I forgot or like when I confused the baseball guy for that radio host. You know, it's not
Tony Rizzo and Anthony Rizzo.
Which one's which? No one knows to this day. But it's, you know, it's an honest mistake that even Bleacher Report made. You know, like
it's not a very high bar.
It's like a
yeah, but here,
media.
Can I ask you a question, Marcos?
Yeah.
Somebody ever told you something, or you read something and you go, that don't even make no sense.
Yes.
That's one of those facts. That is one of those facts. But because you have no idea of what you're talking about,
you
can't even, you don't even see a problem with somebody saying they lost 20 pounds.
Leroy, if you were to tell me the things you've accomplished in life, I'd be like, wow, that is an amazing human being. Very clearly one of the rare people who could accomplish those things. I thought Bob was doing the same thing.
Yeah, but we're talking about
Yeah, but you're still trying to make this a thing, or do you realize you're dumb?
No. You still haven't. You've said that there's this sort of proof out there in which he mentions that maybe it was only 4 pounds.
No, that's what he said.
That's what he said, and maybe.
But Marcos, take it from somebody who went through it firsthand.
Yeah,
if you lost that much weight, you'd almost die.
You gotta focus.
Okay, listen.
Mm-hmm.
I played with a guy that dehydrated so much that he took a day off from practice, then came back and practiced the day after that. He got so dehydrated again, basically his body started boiling from the inside.
Rough.
And that was Corey Stringer.
Mm.
Okay? So when you're saying stuff like this, I have actual facts of what would happen to your body if you lost that much weight.
Here was Sergei Bobrovsky. This is on NHL Network,
supposedly,
before the Panthers Golden Knights Stanley Cup.
Well documented how much kind of weight you lose after playing a game. How much did you lose in that 4 overtime game?
Yeah, I've been asked here every station. I ask about the weight loss, and I don't know where it comes from, but I never lost 20 pounds or 10 pounds. It's not true. So
you don't have 20 pounds to lose.
Exactly. I got 100 total. So.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's you lose like 4 pounds or so. It's maximum. But I've been losing a lot more when I was younger. So it's now not anymore, and it's I don't keep track on it, so it's
all right.
Look, okay, let me tell you 3 things that I find very fishy about that.
One, that you're an idiot.
No. One, he was very chummy with those hosts. Never seen him that happy before. I mean, come on, he was like just rubbing elbows with them. 2, he didn't say focus at all in that interview, so I don't even know if that was really Bob. 3, he said now that he's older, he doesn't lose that much weight. But, maybe when he was younger, you never know.
Yeah, but he said the most he's ever lost is 4. Can you give me him on Paul Maurice? I'm done hearing your stupidity.
Yeah, I think, it's you're just trying to be in a moment and take. He got so much experience too, and he trusts the people around him as well. So he knows the game very well. He knows the human mind very well. He knows what to say and when to say. So he's a big leader, and he's a big reason why we have 3 finals in a row.
Wow. He knows the human mind.
Yeah, that
not just any mind.
Yeah,
the human mind.
That surprised me when Evan revealed earlier that the sweet sauce in it wasn't necessarily a compliment.
Nope.
Yeah. We were both shocked too.
Yeah, that was
it sounded like a compliment.
Yeah, he's like,
nope.
Oh,
yeah. He was being a smart ass.
Sweet sauce in it tonight, boys.
Oh, look at you with your fancy stick play, huh?
Paul Maurice not about the theatrics on ice.
That's it. But the way he says it, as you can see, is like
he was genuinely happy though. I think when Chuckles had the lead, he was happy about it.
That was good.
He's got the lead, Chuckles. Dude, that he was happy about.
Why do I feel like I'm watching a Harry Potter movie when he talks? Right?
What when Paul Maurice?
Paul Maurice, right?
Yeah, when he speaks like a hockey pirate.
Yeah.
You got the lead, boys. You got the lead, Chuckles.
Like I can imagine him on a boat racing another boat.
We are sweet saucing it tonight, boys.
That sounded very condescending and just.
Now that we know.
Now that we know.
Yeah. Initially, I was like, "Oh, he likes what he's saying."
Yeah. No.
No.
Well, look at us. We're just sweet saucing it.
We are sweet saucing it tonight, boys.
I mean, that's what Marcos does every day.
You know what's good? Sweet and sour sauce.
And I can't disagree with that.
Nope. Not a fan.
We'll take a break. Shocking. Take a break. Mix things up on the other side. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
Well, this is my childhood here.
With the Miami Heat holding the teeth pick, fans can attend a draft party in person at the Kaseya Center on June 25th. The event will feature immersive activities, including shots on the court, exclusive photo opportunities, appearances by Heat legends, and live entertainment from Heat talent and more. To RSVP, go to heat.com/draft party. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
Halo going today.
What?
Kill streak?
Gamer shirt. Yeah, the gamer seat.
Oh, Halo. I heard.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's
Doom.
Yeah.
Jessic.
All right. Let's get to the mix bag, huh? What do we got today, Froggy?
Today we have visuals.
What's
in the mix bag?
Oh, okay.
So this is your opportunity. If you have the chance, if you're not driving, of course, head on over to our YouTube and Twitch. Follow us at Miami 560 WQAM to have an opportunity to see these, or you can catch this on YouTube a little bit later. I'll do my best for the radio audience and the Odyssey audience as well. Let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, have you guys heard of the enhanced games?
The enhanced games?
The enhanced games.
So like a game, is that like with steroids?
With steroids.
Okay.
It's essentially the Olympics with steroids, set to take place in Las Vegas.
So the Olympics.
Next May. Well, yeah, apparently the Olympics. But I will show you one of the people who are currently going viral for their dedication to this enhancement, if you will. It's a former Olympian. I will show you the gentleman now. We don't know him because he's an Australian swimmer, but nonetheless, look at this guy.
He's juiced to the gills?
Well, his name is James Magnuson. He is a retired Australian swimmer.
Why do you gotta say it like that?
Because I'm not sure if it's Magnuson.
Magnuson, you idiot.
Well,
he doesn't know that. So
no, that's.
Wait, come on. If he looks at that and goes Magnuson.
Magnuson?
No.
Nonetheless,
it's not important. Just get to the story.
Exactly. This gentleman, he was actually known as the Bullet because of his.
That was his name?
That was his slender physique there. No longer known as the Bullet as he prepares for the enhanced games.
Yeah, because he looks pretty lean. Oh my
God! This man is jacked.
Hey,
wow.
Yeah. That side boobs underneath his arm?
I'd accuse him too.
This man is jacked.
I don't think he has to be accused. I think that's why he's in the enhanced games.
Indeed. If you win, or I'm sorry, if you set a world record during these enhanced games, you are you will be compensated up to $1 million.
Wow.
For world record. So I mean, this man here, he's already has
Does that help with swimming?
That's that's something I guess we'll find out. It's more weight to push around.
He's still got an intangible body, big upper body and no legs.
Do you think he was doing the Aaron Feld?
Juicy. Yeah, he was juicing. That's what he was doing.
Jeez.
He slim though, because
they make those in different sizes there, buddy.
Those wings. Jeez.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Juice to the gills. You guys have any interest in the enhanced games?
I mean, if it was on one day instead of like the French Open, I put it on TV.
Yeah. It's scheduled for around this time next year in Vegas. So, if you don't have any playoff games you're watching at that time, just pop on the enhanced games. I'd like to see what that does as far as like sprinting.
That said the Bullet turned into an RPG.
Full on grenade at this point.
And I agree. I feel like he would sink also. I don't. This is
He's not going to sink. He swims.
Yeah.
No.
When you kick your legs and paddle your arms, you stay afloat.
I don't know.
Jennifer, he's not made out of a bowling ball.
Looks like
could have fooled me.
Wait, question. He's got his outfit on so tight that look how tiny his head.
That is like one of my bodysuits from like 2 years ago.
Somebody drew a face on a thumb.
There was a controversy a few years back about the bodysuits. that they were too good, and they were like messing up all the records.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, really?
Not in the enhanced games, though. Bring them on.
That's what we're doing. We went to the suit is why they broke records.
No, it was why they broke records. Like they had to outlaw them, Leroy. It was a huge controversy.
I know it was a big deal. I know it was a big deal, but why?
Because they were smashing records because of equipment making them more like fluid through the water. And you're already talking about the best swimmers in the world.
Yeah, but I'm just like, holy smokes.
You guys want to hear some of his experiences with the performance-enhancing drugs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Said he gained 10 pounds in the first week of lean muscle.
Cool.
Which means Sergei Bobrovsky. You know that, right?
Why did he only can I have a follow-up there?
Yes.
Why did he only gain upper body?
Helps him swim better.
We don't really see his lower body.
Yeah, we did. He showed a picture.
He showed
His
like
lower body still looks slim.
This one?
Look.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's got small legs, just compared to his gigantic back.
Let me see his butt. That'll tell me all
Marcos.
That'll tell me all I need to know.
What else you got in the mix bag?
Sticking to the theme of pictures, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of a budding romance. And no, I'm not talking about Bill Belichick and his latest squeeze. I am talking about another Patriot, and that is Stefon Diggs.
It's with Cardi B, yeah?
He's with Cardi B.
Is Cardi B.
Wasn't he doing the pink yayo?
Now, according to this photo right here, the Patriots are well aware that he may or may not have been involved with a little bit of the pink yayo.
What is pink yayo?
2C. That is a 2C. It is a drug popular in South America, Brazil, and Miami.
Is it better than the regular cocaine?
I think it is a mixture of Molly and cocaine.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the ultra people.
This is off season.
You know, what are we doing? But you can't. No, you can't. No. You can't do that. That's not allowed. That is not allowed. You can't just, it's off season.
Somebody said it's just Himalayan pink salt.
Maybe. I wonder how he's gonna get out of that one, to be honest. If I'm being honest, it seems pretty clear in that
he goes pixie sticks.
Listen,
Pixie sticks.
I'm a candy attitude there, but I don't think it comes in that packaging.
Well, didn't the guy who got busted with the Dolphins, who's old firster, he never admitted to cocaine use, did he?
Yeah, it was just, and no one did. It was just a white.
Like we all knew it was cocaine, but it was never officially described as cocaine, even though we know greatly assume it was.
When that video came out, he was drug tested the next day.
I think coke leaves your system pretty quick, though.
I'm not familiar.
The only
I know
thing
when
that
I got
is-
arrested. When I got arrested down here in Miami.
Yeah.
The second I got back to Minnesota, the league called and said, "Yeah, pee in this cup."
Oh.
Does pink cocaine last longer in your system than the regular yayo?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question. I'd like to think it goes quick. I think everything goes quick except for the weeds. Sticks to the fat. That's why.
All right. So what of it?
That's true.
You would
That's
never
a true
be able to
statement.
get weed out of your system.
Okay.
I was waiting for it.
Wait. It is not my fault. Marcos teed me up.
No need. No need.
He was almost disappointed that you teed him
like,
up.
It's like, really? The last time I smoked was Christmas.
Looks like you still got it in your system. A couple other things from Christmas too, fatty. Okay, well, talking about this Stefon Diggs, who has been, I feel like Tobin is doing some research that he needs to wipe his computer after.
I'm just looking up what pink cocaine is.
That's great. Well, like I mentioned, and like Tobin mentioned, newest squeeze, Cardi B is actually going through a tumultuous breakup with former Migos member Offset.
So they're not broken up yet. She's already almost Stefon Diggs.
So they've, I think she's filed for divorce, and I'm not sure if he's accepted it yet, and they're officially divorced. But they're definitely going back and forth in a very publicly disgusting breakup. So much so, Offset posted on his story a few things that were not nice, to say the least. One of these pictures, as you can see here, is a GIF of him saying, "Today I pass," And another one saying good rollout in PR, discussing where they were at on their boat and how she has music coming out. No, long story short, he is essentially saying that he's passing his girl on to Stefon Diggs. Like, it's nothing important to him. He's just passing it like a ball. Stefon
He's
Diggs
the mother of
responded.
his children.
Mother of his children. He very
Chill.
clearly is not over her. Stefon Diggs' response, posts on his story, him catching a ball. Says, you know what? You want to go ahead and pass it? I'm going to go ahead and be petty as I possibly can and decides, you know what? Take that offset. So
that is a good comeback now that I think about it.
What else can you possibly say if someone's like, oh, I'm throwing my girl to you? Like, what? You're not, sir. You very clearly lost her. And
what's this girl? Is this girl Cardi B or that dangerous pink dandruff?
Oh,
Dandruff now.
He's done some research on that thing.
He's been very intensely looking into his computer.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, they're gonna have to seize the computer at the end of the segment. Moving away from photos, but staying in the NFL. I don't know if you guys would entertain me discussing the man who I loathe as much as Travis Kelce.
Oh, what did he do now?
Like, you pick bones
Really?
with
You're
people.
so random.
That
with
dude
this.
ain't never did
I
nothing
thought
to
you
you.
loathed
Guys.
Clay.
You know, I totally did, but I mean, Clay's been exposed. The world knows and now sees what I saw years ago. And that's just kind of what I got to do with you guys. I got to walk you through these things, and eventually you all come to your senses. I was right about Drew Smith. I was right about Klay Thompson.
You weren't right about Drew Smith.
Right about Erik Spoelstra. I'm just so right sometimes that it's like, I was right about the Panthers being the best team since the Big Three. But hey,
that's not what you said.
Something like that.
You said they were 10 times better without even winning a second championship.
I put 1.0, but they were 1.0 times better. But the
10,
the period didn't.
Put 10.
Okay.
Autocorrect.
That would mean they would need 20 championships.
Patrick Mahomes on whether or not this is Kelce's last year in the league.
It's the last ride you would never know. I mean, the way he's talking about football, the way he's talking about working and trying to be even better this year than he was last year. I mean, he's not. It doesn't seem like a guy that it's his last ride. Like he's tired of the job. I mean, he's in here, he's working, and I know his body feels good. I think it feels better than even last year before going into last season. Just because I think he's motivated to go out there and have an even better year than he had this last.
Yeah, I can't believe the greatest quarterback on earth sounds like that.
It's just crazy.
It gets me off guard every single time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except he doesn't know when to tell you. Even if he loves football, he's got the Boca Mansion now. Tay-Tay just got all our music back.
Trade for Jonnu
He doesn't need football.
Congratulations.
Oh, did she win?
Yeah.
She just got back
Out
all
of
her
that.
rights to her music. Yeah.
Well, because she re-recorded the stuff, and
She didn't re-record 2 albums.
Okay.
Thank God.
Marcos.
What?
Enough with the sass.
These are the good
What
albums.
she
right?
did was she put the company on notice, and like, you ain't gonna make no money from these albums. You might as well sell them to me and make your money that way. And that's basically what happened. Because when she started re-recording all the other stuff, what are you gonna do? You know that her people gonna only get Taylor's edition, so they wasn't gonna make no money from it.
Do you think when he's asked about the pink cocaine, like, do you think he denies it?
Said, nah, that was salt from my
You
steaks
can't
that I
deny
had
it.
on the grill.
Like it's literally in your hand.
If he's on international waters, does that like
you can't
mean it's not illegal?
If you're in international waters and you kill a man on camera, it's still like, I don't think.
Yeah, but let's be real. Let's
Oh,
be grown-ups
felony.
about this. I'm talking about crimes versus others between crimes with yourself. So if you're just doing pink cocaine in the middle of the ocean,
yeah,
but no harm, no foul. Like, just
You know what? Can I just say this? He should be arrested and just charged on the ticket. Code like 610.537 in the penal code. That is, you're being arrested and taken to jail for being stupid.
Yes.
Why would you videotape it?
He didn't videotape it.
I don't care. He knew somebody was.
There's going to be some girl on that boat with the cheeks out. She's got her phone. He's not paying attention.
Don't
He's doing the pink yayo.
Don't matter. Don't matter. Like, no. You got to protect yourself.
Take a break. Final hour coming on up. Back after this. There's those big rains falling. Tobin and Leroy back with you here, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Kick Rocks, Ben Stiller.
Yeah, get out of here, Chalamet.
Oh, my God. If I had to see Chalamet one more time, enough of him, dude.
See the Happy Gilmore trailer?
I did.
Oh, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think I know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not expecting much. I think I'm going into
should've
pretty
done.
low expectations.
You know what, though? That should be the route. Like, if you expect this to be anything more than just like a little nostalgia, then you're selling.
You know what I thought it was? I thought it was, it was one of those trailers where I felt like I saw too much.
Yeah, I did feel that way.
I was
Like
I feel
all
like I
the
saw too
cameos.
much.
Usually when they try that hard
Yeah.
to show you who's in the movie sucks.
Leroy, what you're saying is exactly how I felt when it was done.
Right, because
exactly how I feel.
how often have you gone to see a movie or a series and it's a surprise cameo and you get excited?
Right.
So
I was just
it's like Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers, like, yeah, once you saw the cameo at the end, like it's like, oh, okay, guess who else was in it? Guess who else was in it? But no, you don't. If you show the cameo before the movie, it's not a cameo. He's an employee.
Unless they're doing the Deadpool. You guys remember, like, Deadpool was like, oh, we have this, and then in the movie had even more. But I don't know, like, who else can you get? I saw Bad Bunny.
I don't know.
Who else can you get other than Bad Bunny?
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory at the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. News today in the Heatland as Chris Quinn is reportedly passed on as one of the finalists for the Phoenix Suns head coaching job. Was reading there was a report earlier today from Euro Hoops that the Miami Heat are going to interview Sergio Scariolo, who was the Spanish national coach. But I was just reading in Anthony Chang's column in the Miami Herald, said in addition to Euro Hoops reported Monday that the Heat has expressed interest in adding Sergio Scariolo to its coaching staff. Scariolo, who began coaching his career in the home country of Italy, currently the head coach of Spain's national team and an assistant with the Toronto Raptors. But a source close to the Heat denied that report, saying that Scariolo is not a candidate for a Heat coaching position. So there you go. Anthony's saying the Heat, people close to the Heat, denying it. Now, they're denying that because Chris Quinn got shot down and it was all of a sudden like covering our base. I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know.
Basically, what I said in the beginning was accurate.
Refresh me, because he said a lot of stupid things that kind of wiped out the smart things you've said today.
So I said this might be because they're losing Chris Quinn. They're bringing him in to take Chris Quinn's spot. And then when Chris Quinn got eliminated from the job possibility, then mysteriously the talks between the other coach ended. Or never was,
or saying
what
that
a
he's
rookie move.
He's not a candidate. But I feel like the one thing with him is, they could still adjust the coaching staff. It doesn't mean necessarily it had to be Chris.
Yeah,
Quinn's
but he was
spot.
that guy would probably only come in to have the first seat.
I would imagine.
You ain't got to imagine.
I don't know for sure, but I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you're not gonna bring a guy of that, that you want him to leave a head coaching job and sit behind Chris Quinn?
Come on. This was
that doesn't even sound right.
Yeah,
that sounds like a pay cut, or it sounds like a demotion.
Well, I don't think he has a current job right now. I don't think he is. The only job he has is national coach of Spain. I don't think he coaches a pro club right now. I think his contract's up there.
Okay.
So I don't. So to that regard, I don't know like what he's turning down, because they're gonna have Euro this summer in like August, and then he's not gonna have anything to do. That's why he's doing podcasts this summer.
Yeah. Miami Heat rookie move here, though.
Why?
They get into the little spatty spat with the misses. You change your
They're
Facebook
not getting
status.
into a spat. They were probably really encouraging Chris Quinn. Why is it a spat?
You go from in a relationship to it's complicated.
It's not complicated.
And then you have a conversation. You got to switch it back, and it's like, oh no, sweetie, there must have been a glitch.
I will say though, we have seen before in the past where like some assistants have then said, enough of being under the Erik Spoelstra tree. Because Erik Spoelstra, I don't think nobody's become a head coach since Fizdale. I guess Juwan Howard got the Michigan job, but nobody's got an NBA job since Fizdale. Dan Craig left.
Not much of a tree.
Anthony Carter. He doesn't have much of a tree. That's actually fair.
Yeah, another.
Anthony Carter went to Memphis this year. So is it possible Chris Quinn's like, maybe it's time for me to spread my feathers? I don't know.
Great coach doesn't have a tree. I mean,
Belichick
says a lot about it. Oh, Belichick has a tree.
He does not have a tree.
Totally has.
He does.
Yeah.
Who's on his tree?
Nick Saban.
Saban
in the NFL.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Nick Saban, Kurt Ferenz.
Oh,
so he has a college
Schwartz.
Okay, so he has a college tree.
No, don't forget
Pioli.
Who's the guy? Who
Eric
coaches
Mangini.
Who's
Al Groh.
You've literally mentioned nothing but NFL failures.
What about the guy who's going to cut his wiener off?
Vrabel?
Yeah,
Vrabel played for him. He didn't. Did he coach under him?
Tree. Nah,
I don't think.
I think Vrabel coached with him. Coached linebackers when he first got out. I think
that's a tree. That's a
I'm
tree.
not
That
sure.
counts.
I'm
It's
like,
not that great. It's not that great a tree for being as great as he is.
That's fair. That's fair.
why?
Not a great,
Nick Saban wasn't.
but Barcel's got a great tree, and he sucks.
Nick Saban wasn't.
Nick Saban wasn't an NFL coach.
Okay, but I'm saying coach.
Nah, you don't get to do college. Sorry.
Why not?
Because I'm not counting Juwan Howard for Spo.
That's rough.
So in order for you to come from a coaching tree, you got to coach the same sport. You can't just coach.
You can't. No, you can't coach a level down. No. Sorry. Them's the rules.
These are the breaks.
-1.
What?
-1. You've been extra annoying today.
You know what?
-1.
Really carrying the show.
I think you came into the studio today and say, boys, I'm on one today.
Pink Himalayan salt.
Whoa.
When you say carry the show, you're like people carrying things back to a village before they invented wheels.
Never
like you're just spilling stuff all over the place.
Yeah, but do you really need that much?
Why would I count college coaches to be in the tree?
It's a
They're
tree.
coaches.
Dude.
No.
It's a tree. You know who doesn't have a tree? Someone who's selfish and only thinks about what he wants. Doesn't nurture. He doesn't give back to the community. He does.
Do you think he's too much of a control freak to let the roots spread?
Yeah, I do. Which is why I'm trying to warn
You guys don't know that. You don't know
I don't
that.
know that. I'm just asking.
I know a bunch.
Theoretical
I've known a bunch of head coaches that delegate. Bill Belichick was a hands-on in every department, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way he was. He was real like anal about that, about just knowing everything about what's going on, how it's being done, or whatever. Denny Green empowered all of his coaches. So he very rarely came in and talked to you about play on the field. He would call his coach over to talk to you about it. So I've seen it done a number of ways.
Stone Steve says, how many coaches have a tree in the NBA? I believe Pop has a tree.
Pop has a tree.
Pop has a tree.
Pop has a tree for sure.
Budenholzer.
But the thing is, you talk about the trees in basketball.
That's a good tree.
And you can't name, like, unless somebody tells you, you wouldn't know.
No, I just named it. I just started naming a tree for you, and you just dismissed it.
No, I didn't dismiss it. I'm just saying
Even
that unlike football, where they announce the tree, you know what I mean? Basketball is a little different when it comes to that.
Strongest NBA coaching tree. This is good.
Steve Kerr.
Was he in the front office though?
Monty Williams.
Wait, wasn't Steve Kerr in the front office?
Assistant coach.
Wow.
Former Spurs assistants: Becky Hammond, Taylor Jenkins, Monty Williams, Ime Udoka. I'm not counting Doc Rivers. That's only a player.
Who's Bud?
Mike Budenholzer.
Oh. Ooh, what about that one? Snyder? Is that Darvin Ham? Those don't count. Those don't count as bud, do they?
What? I guess if you were to go to Mike Budenholzer tree,
Yeah,
that would root from the Greg Popovich tree. So that does
Oh.
count as a tree.
It's a double tree.
Yes.
Wow,
That's how a family tree works, you idiot.
It's like a double rainbow.
D Sizzle said J-Fake doesn't have a tree, so birds can't hang out at her house.
You say that, but I got a lot of trees.
Yes. Mango trees.
No, I don't.
I saw no. Tobin.
I don't have a
you
mango tree.
Tobin, you still growing those big ass mangoes?
PJ Carlisi.
No, I cut it down, dude, because I was allergic.
Brown.
Allergic. To
Yes,
the
remember
syrup.
when he
He's
Yeah.
allergic to the syrup.
So why would,
Can I
yeah,
just
so why
say
would I
this?
want to?
Can I just say this? What a crappy thing to be allergic to. Mango juice.
You're telling me? Not
Mango
juice.
juice.
Syrup.
There's
Just syrup.
syrup. There's people that are allergic to peanuts. You got to carry around a pen. You just got to carry around some Neosporin anti-itch.
Doc Rivers is on
Yeah.
Pat Riley's coaching tree.
He played for him.
Played for him.
Coach for him?
I would count that one though if you just played for him. Right?
Timbo said being allergic to mango syrup is also intangible.
You got the Van Gundy's on his tree.
Something like that too, man.
Who, Pat Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about George Karl? George Karl's got a tree. Not a good one though.
I don't think if you play for him, you should count on the tree.
That's what I think. Except for when it helped my point.
But Spo's tree without fruit.
You can't say it's a tree though. You can't even say it's a tree.
I don't even know if you can call it a garden.
Oh no way. That's a shrub. He's got a shrub. Remember when he forgot how many timeouts he had? It's been a bad year for him.
This is going to go back to kicking him upstairs.
Just saying.
You're going to land this. Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Let's play a little all right. Oh, no. Then we got Evan Rodrigues joining the program. Talk a little cats with E-Rod, Hot Rod. He'll stop by. We'll talk some Stanley Cup final. My all right is going to stick with the Panthers, and that is to the captain, Aleksander Barkov.
All right.
Announced today that he won the Selke Trophy for the second straight season, his third overall in his career. So congratulations to Barkey. He also won the King Clancy Memorial Trophy, and it was given to him by children from the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. If you guys haven't seen the video, I retweeted it. I recommend checking it out.
All right.
It was goosies galore. A gentleman, this Aleksander Barkov. Represents the Cats to the fullest in every which way. And now he's going to go kick Connor McDavid's ass again. My oh no goes to the Phoenix Suns. Big mistake.
Oh, no.
Big mistake, dude. Look, Chris Quinn, we didn't even want that job, dude. Let's be honest. That guy fires coaches left and right. They got nothing on that team. You're going to be stuck with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. Blessing in disguise, Chris Quinn, that you didn't get the gig, all right? And don't get offended that the Heat were snooping around some Italian coach. It's all good, dude. We're going to bring it all harmoniously together. Leroy?
I'm going to give it to Barkov also. I know my all right. We probably shouldn't do it, but he deserves it. Very unassuming guy. Very unassuming guy. Yeah, I did. And just, fun to watch. So, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. My oh no, or my goes to UFC. And I didn't stay up to watch it. But Tobin told me yesterday the main event got canceled.
Crazy.
Just canceled. So you're getting ready for the main event, and they go, you know what? Canceled. Good night. Sports Center next.
It was crazy.
They just left you hanging. That's crazy.
It was said that Macy Barber, who was in the main event, that she suffered a seizure, but apparently, it wasn't even I've seen even before where they've been like, hey, this event got canceled, medical issue in the back. I've seen that. I've never seen it get taken literally all the way up to the fight. Package plays, we're rolling to walk to the ring, and they're just like, and they go to Brendan Fitzgerald, Daniel Cormier, and Laura Sanko, and they're like, no fight.
Oh, no.
And we're just like, what? Yeah, no fight. Sorry, medical emergency. And, I wish Macy Barber all the best, but it definitely was not. She did miss weight the day before. I don't know if this had lingering effects or if something else was going on, but that was crazy. Her fight, main event, canceled.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. Jennifer, what's your all right and oh no?
So before my signal goes out again, which that is my oh no, these storms are messing up literally my everything, my plans, my signal, everything. My all right goes to a very Goosey's signing off of Inside the NBA.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
They had so much shenanigans going on, but they also ended it with nice rings that were given to the entire crew. Thought it was pretty cool.
Chuck finally got a ring.
Yep. A lot of people were saying that in the comments.
Yikes.
And Shaq cussed.
A lot of F-bombs were dropped. Yep.
Oh, Pat McAfee can do it.
But yeah,
Somebody said Shaq ruined it. Not really. He didn't ruin it. I mean,
He tried to do too much.
He kind of went over the top, but his message and his sentiments before that were really good. How he gave everybody a congratulations and was grateful to being on the show with all the guys and pointing them out one by one. That was cool because you're always seeing Chuck and and Shaq fight all the time.
I'm confused by a lot of the things of the inside the NBA because I was like watching a clip today. Apparently, Chuck went on Dan Patrick's show and was like, "Yeah, we're still gonna do stuff with TNT, but they don't have the rights to the NBA." And so, like, Chuck's even confused. And I got to be honest with you, I'm a little rats off a ship on the inside the NBA.
Oh,
where are you going? What are you doing? Wow. What are the plans with this organization?
Confused rats, maybe?
I'm just confused by it. I thought the plan was first it was going away, and Chuck was leaving, and then Shaq was leaving, and then Kenny was leaving, and then everybody was staying and going to ESPN. But now you're also going to be doing shows on ESPN. Tell me where you're going to go so I know whether or not to watch it. I'm just confused. I'm not mad. I just am saying things loudly.
You said rats off a ship, so I don't know. You're a little mad.
They're so wishy-washy on if they're going to be back, gone, or on ESPN. What are we doing with this show?
My question is, are they going to try to force feed their basketball people on the inside the NBA?
Well, I thought what they were doing was a McAfee thing, which is McAfee produces everything, or UFC. UFC produces everything. They just put it on their television.
Right.
I was under the impression that what they were doing. But now Chuck is like, oh, no, we might still do some stuff with TNT. I'm like, you are? What? Then what did you say goodbye for? What are we doing?
We're talking about
do the March Madness.
What?
They might do March Madness.
Yeah, but that's not NBA. That's the NBA, and Shaq doesn't do that, and neither does Kenny.
All right.
What do you got, Froggy?
Guys, can we just take a second to what a horrible take by Tobin. This guy.
How is it a horrible take?
This guy has been on.
Just tell me where you're gonna be.
It has been.
For sure, they'll tell you when the time is right and everything.
They've had 2 years. They still don't know where they're gonna be.
Well, things change.
This is by my count. This is the 3rd goodbye to inside the NBA, and it's not leaving.
Let them have their time.
Yeah, that seems like all they want. It's like a farewell tour for the Rolling Stones, except the 4th version of it. And I think they kind of like it because they're like, guys,
hey, did we have to sign off when we went to the studio next door?
We should have.
No, I don't think we did. I think we just said, yeah, we're here. Hey. I'm just confused. That's all. I'm not mad.
I think you are.
I'm really not, but just
kind of like the whole JJ Redick bit where
no.
You don't hate him, but enough of him, right?
The sick love to lash out.
Well, it is a little bit enough of their goodbyes already. Like, stop saying goodbye if you're not going to go away. Anyway, what do you got, Froggy?
My no. Unfortunately, it's one of our patents. Oh no! What did he say?
I literally.
If you did have a sign off, I'm sure it would have been taped.
That's good.
Oh yeah, Schmied and Schmoll is the only guy who criticizes people for working extra on their day off.
Yeah. What about we did it? We were in here. We had to do it yesterday.
What a jerk!
Rough.
Sorry. Oh, the
at
Panthers
random
At
time.
least you got new content.
Panthers are flying out. You know,
random time too. Random time.
I'm not listening to him.
What
but
time
anyway, go ahead, Frog Boy.
My no.
Get to your all right, oh no already.
Already.
Gosh, Marcos, keep mailing it in.
You know who cares about really what I have to say. My no goes to the people who said started the rumor that Vanessa Bryant may be pregnant. Clearly, she's not. Leave her alone. Another thing is my no, but not like my oh no, like my Leroy no. John Brenkus. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
Sports
no.
Science. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is
Sports Science.
Used to love that show. I also love Pros versus Joes, which is not relevant to this, but if you're listening for some reason, bring that show back.
Sports Science was better than Pros versus Joes.
It was, I'm not gonna fight that.
They got a little bit too kind of like Man versus Shark during Shark Week, where so and so swims against a shark, but it's CGI. Like,
they tried that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the best one was when they did the Kobayashi breakdown of how his stomach expands. That was great television, riveting.
Really, sports.
You would have your favorite show would be centered around.
Dude, it was crazy.
Now on ESPN,
I've seen Kobayashi in action in person. It was very impressive. He took out John Crotty and Bam Adebayo.
Oh,
you know what? Too much. As much as I like to eat, I'm not gorging myself.
Well, trust me, Bam and Crotty weren't putting up much of a fight. He was able to breeze through that contest. It was at a BurgerFi.
My all right is the Knicks losing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kick rocks, Ben Stiller.
Kick rock.
Evan Rodrigues. Panthers extraordinaire. Hot Rod. He joins us next.
Just a couple of days away from the start of this
Welcome back in, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Very excited to talk to our next guest as the Florida Panthers getting ready for their third straight trip to the Stanley Cup Final. And one of the champs joining us here, Evan Rodrigues, got his first goal of the postseason in the Cats clincher against the Hurricanes. Evan, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
What level of honor is it when you get the puck for the puck board? It's one of our favorite things every time you guys are around the locker room. Whoever won the last game has to give it to the next guy. So when you get the puck, where does that go as far as in-season honors for you from your teammates?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because it comes from your teammates, like you said. It's something that your teammates recognize. And it's a cool little tradition, right? We did it last year and again this year, and you always want to help contribute to a win, right? So being acknowledged by your teammates is special, and each guy will get there.
How hard is it? Because we've seen the transition from winning the President's Cup but not performing well in the playoffs to kind of changing how everything is done, more physical, more defensive. How is that transition for like guys that come in or even for guys that were here? Because like you spend your career playing a certain way and then it's just thrown out the door and you have to kind of reinvent yourself.
Yeah, I think the best way I can put it is you don't really have a choice. And it's you go through the regular season and it's still a little bit different than what our game is in the playoffs. And once the playoffs come, if you don't play our way and if you don't do the things that are necessary to winning, it's not really the coaches that are on you. It's the players on the bench. It's the guys next to you that are like, we don't do that here. That's unacceptable. Like that, don't do it again. And when your teammates are holding you accountable, it's a different feeling than even the coach or whoever else. And so yeah, like I said, you don't really have a choice, or everyone's kind of on you and everyone will be like, that just isn't it. So you learn quickly and you just adapt because at the end of the day you recognize and realize that it's what you need to do to be successful. And I think everyone recognizes that pretty quickly and then hops right on board.
It's a weird dynamic because I played football and a guy who was not tough and physical never just turned on a switch and became tough and physical. And the style of play that I've seen now versus a couple of years ago is so different. And I always wondered, did you guys always have it in you? Or it was just something, like you said, like you have to adapt?
I'd say a little bit of both. I would say the guys that we have on our team all have that edge. But at the same time, a lot of it's mental, right? Like even if you think you don't have it, the team, the guys that, have been here and I guess lead in that category kind of drag you right into the fight, right? Like if you got the other four guys on the team going into a fight, right, you're not going to be the one guy standing off to the side because, again, like I said earlier, your team's going to let you know, like that's not acceptable. So, we have leaders in that category that, we have guys that are more physical and, maybe meaner than others, but everyone pulls on the rope, right? Everyone does what they can. Everyone, lays their hits when they have them. And it's almost like it's a team thing, right? When it's over and over and over again, the other team starts to feel it, and it might not be the biggest hits or it might not be, the meanest, but when you're getting hit over and over and over again, it wears on you. And I can imagine it's the same thing in football and any sport. It's the toll eventually catches up to you.
Well, speaking of toughness, how crazy was it that you got an embellishment call for basically getting torpedoed into the boards? Like that was one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen in my life. Like when you were going there, did you even realize like what was happening when that got called on you?
I had no idea. I've mentioned this before, but I went off the ice, so I just figured they got a roughing or matching roughings between whoever was out there. And, it was funny, in between the second and third period, Eki said like that was the craziest call I've ever seen. And I was a little bit pissed off. I kind of ignored him a little bit and just didn't acknowledge like what he said. And then after the game, I got a text from my brother being like, yeah, that was a crazy embellishing. And that's when I found out that I got an embellishing call.
Like,
didn't even know how to react because I couldn't, I could not believe it. Like I couldn't fathom that could even be possible.
Is it literally though? It's impossible to call roughing on one guy and embellishment on the other. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, it's one of those like I'm just gonna move on from because I can't even explain it to you. Like I couldn't even tell you like, oh, this is what he saw, or like this is what maybe like this is what like maybe I could see it through his eyes, but I just like I got nothing for you.
You have nothing to explain. It was crazy to me. I just, it still is one of those things that's going to be like we'll look back on the DVD of this season and be like, oh my god, I can't believe that was a moment.
Yeah.
One of the things that's crazy though, Evan, like you do finally get your first goal, but you guys have so many guys who have scored, but you were amongst like the group who didn't, and it didn't seem like you belong. I know you have a ton of assists in the postseason run. So were you getting any talk from your teammates? Because you're usually like piling it into the net during a postseason run. How crazy was it that it took that long to get one to finally go for you?
No, it didn't bother me at all. I don't think even the guys on, I'm going to be honest, I don't even think the guys on the team knew I didn't have a goal yet. Like it's just, we couldn't be more of a team in that sense of the word. Like it doesn't matter who's scoring, who's getting points. At the end of the day, it's just about wins, right? So personally, obviously you always want to contribute. You always want to, put the puck in the net, help the team win. But, like I said before, I was saving them for the
ready for an avalanche.
Yeah, exactly. So just stockpiling them, and obviously nice to score though and contribute to that one.
The way you guys play though, it's almost like the way, even when Paul explains games, the scoring is a product of doing all the other things necessary to win. So there's not as much importance put on scoring, even though you need to score to win.
Yeah, I think the biggest message, I think, and the biggest takeaway is that we're all in the NHL for a reason, right? We all have the talent. We all have the ability. We all got to this spot because we have talent. So when you focus on, the little things and the defense and, the things that are more mentally hard than, actual talent, the talent will just come out when it has to come out, right? The goal scoring ability, the playmaking ability, those things will come out just because it's what we've done our whole lives. We know how to do it. It's the reason why we're here. And so when you put the mental focus onto, like you said, the defense, the physical, nature of the game, the hitting, those sort of things that aren't just natural, that take, focus and attention, the rest of it just takes care of itself. And I think that's where we're having our success, is that we can, put our mental capacity into the hard things, and, the fun and the goal scoring and the playmaking. That's when your natural instincts, your natural talents just take care of themselves and shine through.
How have you found this season for your team being the hunted, like being the team that everybody wants to chase down? Some people are calling you the standard right now, but like, what is it like bringing that in the back of your head to the rink every single night instead of, redemption, getting your first championship and trying to get to this big accomplishment? Is it a different mental exercise to bring it again and knowing that everybody's gunning for you with their best?
I think in the regular season more than the playoffs. The regular season, it's a long year. It's a bit of a grind. Like you said, every team is now bringing their best because they know that's kind of what they need to beat us. And, I'd be lying if I said it's not, extremely hard to bring it every single night, right? Like it's a long season, and but once it comes to the playoffs, I think, that's when you're seeing every team, every player's best night in, night out. in that token, it's, you know, we've been fine in that regard. It hasn't been that too much of a challenge. It's something I think we've embraced more, and you know, we'll look to continue to do that the rest of the way.
Do you guys laugh when other teams come to you and say, we're going to try to be as physical as you, and you go, you're not that guy, right? Because it kind of happened early in the Carolina series where, you know, I've known Carolina to be just extremely fast on skates, like just from one end to the other, whatever. Then all of a sudden now we got fisticuffs all the time. We're like, that's not your thing, dude. That for the Panthers, that's Tuesday.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's where the experience and doing it all regular season long, this is where you see the payoff, right? This is where we can, you know, withstand that and do it over and over and over again, and it be normal for us. You know, in the playoffs, a lot of, you know, even when I was on different teams before this, you can get up for a period or two and be physical and hard. Even a game, you can do it for 60 minutes, but to do it night in and night out when you haven't done it before is extremely challenging. It's right. I've had the experience, like I said, I've had the experiences on other teams doing that. And I think that's one of our biggest, you know, advantages, I would say, is that we've had the experience of doing it. It's what we preached all year long from the start of training camp. It's what we did last year. It's what the guys that were here did the year before. And it's just more natural to us, I believe. And I think that's, you know, a big reason, a big part of our success.
A couple more randos before we get you out of here, Evan. In the last win, you guys, the team put out a mic'd up, and Paul Maurice said at one point, you guys are sweet saucing it tonight, boys. What the hell does that mean? What is sweet saucing it?
He makes fun of us when we try to get cute with the puck and, you know, make plays and be fancy. So that was someone probably threw a, you know, nice head high saucer pass across the ice, and that was his subtle, not so subtle way of saying, hey, enough. That's, you're done.
Oh, so it wasn't a compliment?
No, well, it was a compliment, but also there was a hidden meaning of, hey, that's your like that isn't us, and that was your one, and now stop.
Is he like that with everything? Because, you know, when he talks to the media, he kind of has a sly way of making his point where everybody gets it, but then he'll smile or stay in this one tone of voice. But then you'll hear him on like in the box yelling at you guys, and I'm like, oh, he's a different dude.
Yeah, he's really, it's one of his that I found over my 2 years here is he's really good at controlling, or I guess getting the message across. Like whatever his message is, he has a way about him, whether it be in a sarcastic way or whether it be sometimes like he almost knows what we need, right? So when we need, you know, I was gonna say when we need a strong and when he mother F's you, you know, like sometimes we get the message, but then like you just mentioned, like sometimes they'll say something extremely sarcastic where we all kind of get a chuckle out of it, but then it's like, hey guys, like, okay.
Let's go.
But, you know,
Right.
So he does a really good job of knowing what we need and what our team needs, and he's a fun coach to play for, that's for sure.
My favorite game, I think you guys end up losing a game or something, and he goes, you know what, I like a lot of things that we did. It's not like we're going to come up here tomorrow and have a punitive skate. So I've been wondering, what the hell is a punitive skate?
You know, I think I'm wondering with you. I don't know. I'm guessing we're not coming out here and having like maybe like being all down and upset. We're going to go out there. We're going to get his big message is, you know, we win or we learn type deal. So if you win, you're feeling good, you get back to work. But if not, you learn from it and you get right back out there, right? You learn from it. You take the things, you change the things you need to change, and you just get back to work. And, you know, we obviously have a good setup here. We have a brand new practice facility, you know, beautiful weather, this, that, and the other thing. We're all living our dream in a great place. But at the end of the day, when we come to the rink and it's between the hours of whatever it is, 9 to 1 or however long we're here till, we put the work boots on and we put our work in, and then we get to go enjoy ourselves. So I'm sure that was part of his message was that we're going to get back to work.
Evan Rodrigues, thanks for giving us so much time, man. Best of luck. Safe travels up to Edmonton. Will you be making any DQ runs in Edmonton? Is that part of your go-to dessert? Will you be part of the DQ crew?
I haven't been part of the DQ crew, but I've seen some things online that people are already mapping out where they are. So,
what part of Canada are you from?
Pardon?
What part of Canada are you from?
I'm from Toronto.
So my wife is from Sherbrooke.
Oh, okay,
Quebec.
yeah.
So that small little town had a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen Brazier, because they had hamburgers.
So I'm not going to put any names out there. I'll let you guys figure it out. But there is someone on this team that swears that the bacon cheeseburger at DQ is the best fast food burger out there.
It's got to be Mikola.
I'm not giving you the name, but there is a human being on the Florida Panthers that
lives by the Dairy Queen.
That's crazy. That's a crazy take.
That's what I'm leaving you guys with. So.
Right.
Hey, best of luck this series, Evan. Thanks for spending so much time with us today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys.